Oh.
Spirits of the northeast, south, and west, free our circle from all that's stressed. We trust the guardians, trust the guides, trust the open and what's inside. When the moon is high, it's time to fly. Open your mind, let it all unwind. Let's get disenraged, time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. When you feel like you've had enough and the week was busy and tough, you need a break, you need some fun, you need to take time from the run. We'll blow your mind, we're just in time. Seek and ye shall find. Time to unwind, let's get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. Aliens, ghosts, spirits and shadows, spirituality, ultra reality, the Bible, the pagans, all the conspiracies, tarot, astrology, and alternate history. Open your heart to other possibilities and get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged, 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 disenraged.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Carlin.
How's it going? You sound better this week.
I almost have my voice back. I could almost sing along with the song again, which made me immensely happy.
I do get that song stuck in my head, especially the part where it's like going through all the different things. Like I'm secretly dancing to that, but I don't want anyone to know it.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really fun is sometimes I see people post in the lyrics in the comments. I wrote that song. In case anybody's wondering, I actually wrote that song.
It's a good song.
It's really fun, and what's so cool is like when I had my band, I would always imagine people singing along with us, and sometimes we had a few people that did. But when I see it in the comments, I'm like, oh, they're singing, yay!
Well, Nightlight just got back from Sedona. I love Sedona so much. I want to go to Sedona, Jennifer.
Oh, Sedona's cool. Sedona's gorgeous. Vibes everywhere.
Hey, I have a surprise.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what my surprise is?
I saw something on Instagram. Does it have something to do with that?
I wrote a new story, and you're gonna be really excited because I already posted the whole thing on the internet, and I didn't let anyone read it first. and my story is called Alice in Queerland, a re-education fable.
Oh my
God. And
it's
everything that you might think it is. What do you think?
Did I freeze? Did you freeze?
I don't know. One of us.
Oh, sorry. Was that me freezing?
I don't know.
Hi.
Hi.
You said it's everything that, and then everything.
It's everything that you might think it would be. It's Alice basically getting sucked down the queer rabbit hole to go to queer re-education camp because, and I fucking cringed so hard at myself when I wrote this line, but like it had to be done. Basically, what happens is Alice asks, "What is a woman?" in school. And then, yeah, exactly. I was like, I fucking hate this line. I fucking hate it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's a cultural thing, and it had to be the line. I was like,
Part of our lexicon now.
Exactly. And that gets Alice sucked down the rabbit hole to go to queer re-education camp in Wonderland.
Does the hole need like an application to keep it open?
No, the hole doesn't need an application to keep it open.
I was just wondering.
The hole, and actually, that's actually part of the book. Is the hole? Are we in the Matrix? Is the hole perpetual? Are we in the rabbit hole? Are we in the rabbit hole right now? But there's one particular spot, Jennifer, that I wanted you to read, because obviously I did this on my own. I didn't let anyone read this. I didn't even tell anyone I was doing this, because I was hoping to get it ready for April Fool's Day as a surprise, because I was like, people are going to think it's an April Fool's. No, this is actually a serious thing. And so I wrote a section that, well, you know, some might say it's dedicated to you. This is at the Mad Hatter's tea party, okay? And it says, Alice sat slowly. Her hands trembled as the Hatter slid a glowing teacup towards her. Her instincts screamed to stay alert, but the smell in the air made her eyelids feel heavy. Don't be shy, he said, eyes gleaming. Here, you can be anything. A clock has no hands. Time is a lie told by the oppressors to make you linear. Alice stared. Time? Is it real?
You know, so okay. First of all, thank you. I love this. But second of all, somebody in the comments was like, "Jennifer's late. Jennifer's not late. Time isn't real, so she's already here."
Don't worry. Alex has already made a meme. We already have.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Time isn't real. Confirmed.
I can actually hear Fred Gwynn's voice saying that. Time is a lie told by the oppressors to make you linear.
It's a good line. There are so many. I'm like, this book is so good, Jennifer. You're gonna die when you read this. Well, short story. It's not even a book. It's like maybe like 12,000 words or something ridiculously short.
Yeah.
It's a teeny tiny little thing. I'm still gonna publish it, but it's a teeny tiny little thing. So.
People love little vignettes like that. Short stories are really popular right now because they want to sit down, they want to read a sample, it gives them an idea of your work. Mm-hmm. But also, it's like, I don't want to get involved in the book, but I really feel like reading right now. So here's 3 chapters. Yay. You know, and they.
Yeah. Did we lose Jennifer again?
You know, it is short story. Don't usually have chapters, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, this actually does have chapters. Has 7. So you cut out for a second. So I was trying to figure out, was it you cut out? Maybe we'll just have to deal with this tonight. It'll be fine.
I don't know what's going on. I do have a conundrum, though. I need advice.
Okay.
I'm starting a new skein because I want to try a different stitch. I'm still not sure what stitch I want to. God damn, why am I so orange today?
I think it looks good.
I'm very warm. I look very hearthy.
You look like you're sitting in front of a fire.
So I have this new skein because I want to try a different stitch. I'm still trying to pick a good stitch for my placemats. Mm-hmm. And look what I found. The perfect end in the middle.
Yep.
And I'm like, ooh, normally I would totally go after that. But then it hollows out and it turns into like this wompy.
Yeah, no, it gets to be a mess if you do that.
Yeah, so it's like, so should I just try and look for the end on the outside?
Yeah, you should always look for the end on the outside. The only contingent on when you want to pull the yarn from the inside is sometimes I do it if I'm like marling yarns, which is when you hold 2 different yarns together, but sometimes I switch back and forth between 2 different yarns or the same yarn because it just makes a fade technique, like whatever. So that's like the only time I do that, because you're asking for trouble if you do that. Your yarn's gonna get tangled, there are gonna be knots, like you're gonna want to cut it up with scissors, like it's not a good thing.
Oh yeah, I need one of them. I love those ceramic bowls that have like the little curly cue. I want to get one of them. Oh, and I want to show you. I'm showing. Okay, ready, puppy cam. Here we come. Puppy cam incoming.
They're there.
There's Bodie. I'm trying to get his. There he is.
No care in the world.
Nope. They've been running around all day. I just leave the back door open because it's been warm enough. So we're probably 95% potty trained right now. I'm so excited.
That's exciting. Yes. I wonder why dogs always choose to sleep on the floor instead of like, he has a mattress available, and like Victor does this too, where he has like where Victor is like set up in his like work area. He has a dog bed under the desk and then 2 additional dog beds beside the desk. One of them is in front of the window, one of them is closer to the desk and is bigger and has more space. So we have 2 dogs. They are little dogs. They have a choice of 3 beds from which to choose. Where does Kobe choose to sit? On the floor in front of Victor's feet.
Is Kobe a boy?
Kobe is a boy. He is a Chewini.
Do you have a girl dog too?
Yes, honey.
Does the girl dog go to the beds?
Mostly she goes to the beds, but she likes sitting in front of the window. But lately she's been not sitting on the beds for some reason, but we think it's because she's pissed off at Victor because Victor groomed her.
Oh, whoops.
So
Yeah. Well, I noticed that like my Kina was a bed dog. She loved the couch. She was always behind me on the
Yes.
couch, or she was in a dog bed. Phelan was the one who wanted the floor. And now with Anya, she's the bed dog, and Bodhi is the floor dog. And it's always the boy that seems to be the floor dog.
that's
So I don't know. Maybe boys just like it hard on the floor.
Maybe they like it hard.
And they're going to
the
get their
floor.
snippy snips on the 11th.
Oh, the cone of shame is coming.
The snippy snips has happened. This dog has the most gigantic pair of nuts you've ever seen. I'm getting concerned.
Well, good thing then, I suppose. All right, for tonight's video. Okay, so originally this is my night, and I said I wanted to learn about the supposed satanic rituals that all of these people allegedly engage in, because I'm not sure I'm like actually convinced that these are real things. I feel like there's enough like the religious hysteria is perpetual, and now that I'm watching a whole segment of classical liberals go off the James Lindsay woke right deep end by just create like it is, I don't want to get into like stuff on Twitter or anything, but like it is actually interesting to watch just from a myth making perspective of like knowing how full of shit James is on this topic, and then seeing like how slowly he's gone so hard on this, and he's talked to everyone, and this is all he's focusing on. It's become a real thing because of it, and I'm like, this is actually a very informative thing in terms of like myth making and all this stuff. And I just feel like religious hysterics will always say it's Satan, it's Satan, it's Satan, when no, it's probably just someone wearing clothes you didn't like calm the fuck down. So I've never really bought into those, but I did find some videos on BitChute that I just didn't want to watch, and then I kind of settled on, I don't know that much about this Bohemian Grove thing. I've heard of it. I know that James O'Keefe got caught at it or doing something at it. And then I was like, oh, Alex Jones did a Bohemian Grove documentary. Let's just watch that. That seems like a kind of like easy introduction, but I don't really know anything about this.
Bohemian Grove is one of those kind of secret society places where like the Bilderbergers go, and a lot of there's just I don't think it's just Bilderbergers. I think there's a whole bunch of different people that are in the, I'm going to say, mid to lower echelon. The upper echelon do not bother with this.
Mm-hmm.
But the mid to lower echelon people go to these. I know the Bushes have been there. Just about every single president, except for Donald Trump, actually. I believe every other president has been photographed here, including Reagan, which I was surprised. I didn't think he was a hero's moment because I always loved Reagan. I still do, but it is, people are people. What are you gonna do? So I'm very cautious. I'm very cautious about liking anybody now in politics. But
for real.
yeah. So, but a lot of these people, they go in there, and what they're doing is they're sort of like, they're committing themselves to the path. There's rumors of actual human sacrifice, although that has not been able to be confirmed. Even though there are photos allegedly out of that, it still isn't. They still aren't sure if that's exactly what is being shown, or if it's an act or a play, if you will. There's a lot of symbolism in it, but honestly, it's kind of an old boys club. And they do have some lower like plebes that serve them and do certain weird, creepy things. As far as Satanism goes, that's of course the going phrase for stuff that's supposed to sound hoopy, evil, and mystical.
Mm-hmm.
I and you know how I feel about Satan. I think he got a bad rap. I don't think he is what people think he is. But people do say, including Alex Jones came around to this, what you have to look out for are the Luciferians. They're apparently the really big baddies.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
about that either.
I just think it's like, when you call yourself like the Prince of Darkness, like Ozzy Osbourne did, that makes him sound like a big badass. But honestly, he's just a sweet British guy who makes really great music, and he's a family man. Like, that's kind of what this. They're playing with titles, and this is just a dedication to, yeah, we still know the secret handshake, and yeah, we're still gonna rub each other's dicks and write each other's checks, basically.
All right. Well, I'm excited to watch it. I like this sort of stuff. And so I guess we will dig into it, guys. This is Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. It's so old.
Been Vintage Alex Jones, y'all. Dramatic music.
Oh! I should have popcorn, I feel like. But I just ate ice cream, so. He's so young!
Oh, yeah.
The Wicker Man? Oh, I can't hear you, Jennifer. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Sorry. They're burning an owl effigy.
Oh, is it like The Wicker Man, though?
Without people inside it.
The Wicker Man is a great fucking movie. If we can't find one of my movies for my month of narcissism, we're gonna replace it with The Wicker Man, the original, not the remake with Nicolas Cage. What are you talking about? The Wicker Man's great.
No.
Why?
Oh god, I hate that. The original Wicker Man is so bad. It made me so angry. And then I did not see the
What's
remake.
What's wrong with you?
Because I am actually a pagan, and I was so offended by that movie. It made us look like a bunch of crazy people. I was so angry. A lot of my pagan friends were like, "Oh my god, it's like the only movie that like shows paganism. It's like got witchcraft and shit in it." And so I'm like, "All right, let's watch it." And I was so mad at it because they were just crazy cult witches that were just fucking insane.
It's a fantastic movie. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. And I should have picked it for movie night the other night when you were sick.
Oh, there would have been a protest. Protest. Oh
God,
no.
That really should have been what I picked. Oh my god, what a missed opportunity. Like, you don't show up for movie night and I commandeer it and we watch The Wicker Man.
I was there. I was fucking there. I watched both of those badass.
See,
and I mean,
now
you
know
movies.
The next time you're fucking sick and I have to step in for that, you know what's gonna happen now. We're watching The Wicker Man.
I'm gonna have to ask John. John, rescue me. Carla's gonna watch The Wicker Man. Oh no. Looks like a high school project.
Hello,
It does.
I'm Alex Jones, and I'm a radio and television host based in Austin, Texas. And for many years, I've been exposing the criminal activities of the global elite, also known as the New World Order. In past films, we've documented the centralization of power, the move towards world government, the attack on the nation state, self-defense, the Second Amendment, family values, that is, the family itself, as well as private property rights. But time and time again in my...
Alex Jones is on our side. Back in the day, he doesn't talk about this stuff anymore.
Oh, he does, but he's kind of moved on to bigger stuff. But yeah, this was burgeoning Alex Jones. And people, you have to understand that the crazy he talks now, what he's talking back then sounded just as crazy. Like now it's like, well, yeah, of course, after our property. It's like we're used to it now. He's always sounded crazy. So, I mean, he's always advanced. He's ahead of the curve, you know?
This is going to be an interesting experience on like several different levels with this documentary.
My research, I come, well, eye to eye with something that's even hard for me to believe. And that's that the elite, again, the so-called establishment kings, those that know best, the visions of the anointed ones, are obsessed with the occult. From presidents to governors to the heads of industry. We've all seen the stories of presidents and first ladies obsessed with their astrologers, making national policy decisions upon their recommendations.
Nothing wrong with that.
Spiritual guides, shamans in the White House. My friends, it gets far worse than that.
Shamans in the White House. We saw that on
now,
J6.
I personally am a Christian, but even an atheist should be concerned about the information we're about to bring forward in this new documentary film, The Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. You see, for over 120-plus years in Northern California, in Sonoma County, on a 2,700-acre secluded redwood grove, leaders from around the world, prime ministers, chancellors, presidents, governors, again, the heads of industry, banking, academia, the media, Hollywood, only a select few, a little over 2,000 people, travel there to engage in bizarre, ancient Canaanite, Luciferian, Babylon mystery religion ceremonies. At least that was the rumors. And so I went to the library and got on the internet and saw many of the mainstream news articles admitting that world leaders do indeed go there, and they fly into San Francisco and other surrounding cities and drive out into the rural hills and mountains of Northern California, and that these stories have been coming out that they worship some 45-foot stone owl god. And then I began to read some of the documentation on this Moloch character of the Old Testament, mentioned many times in Leviticus. That's in the Bible. Why are world leaders traveling to the middle of nowhere to worship this thing? Well, I had to check it out for myself. And I'm proud of my team. Mike Hansen, Violet Nichols. They traveled with me there. We talked to some of the locals discreetly. We successfully infiltrated, with the help of some of the locals and Channel 4, World of Wonder, British television that teamed up with us. And I successfully infiltrated through the Secret Service, through the guards, through the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department. We were inside 4 hours. That's only one day out of the 2 weeks that they meet there for the admitted Summer Fire Festival of the Bohemian Club. Well, basically, that's enough for me. It's hard to even describe it with words, and I hope that our hidden cameras can give you at least a small piece of what I witnessed. To have world leaders engaging in this type of sickening behavior. Oh yes, there's much more to come. Mock human sacrifices, they claim, just shocks the very foundations of what Americans believe their leaders to be. And then to have it intimately connected with world government. It doesn't make a lot of sense until you research history. All throughout history, spanning back into the midst of the beginnings of civilization, we see world leaders from the empires of old, from the Aztec kings and priests to Babylonian leaders to ancient Rome,
He used to be quite a yapper, huh?
in twisted behavior.
Like-
Oh, yeah.
Could it be that when you have all the power and all the women and all the money and all
He
the
still
lands
is.
and all the art, you
Yeah.
have to do something new?
I feel like
you
he's
have
gotten
to
quicker, though.
go against the basic
He's learned.
grain of
He's got
humanity.
experience now, yeah.
You have to get off in a sick way. That's what we witnessed in Northern California, July 15th, 2000. Get ready to go inside the Bohemian Grove. The Bohemian Club, as it's known today, was founded in 1873 in San Francisco in Northern California. Many of the club's original annals, dating
I
back...
just want to point out, sometimes I get a little like, I'm like, Carlin, like the stuff you do is so low tech. You just have like a webcam sitting on top of your computer. You're just talking to a microphone. Like, this is not high tech, and you don't really know what you're doing because you never wanted to host things on the internet and like all this stuff. And sometimes I get a little self-conscious because there are people who do this way better than I do. And then I look at stuff like this and I'm like, you know what? Just remember, if you just like fuck around with a video camera, you don't have to have the greatest quality stuff. You really don't. You just have to be passionate about what you do, and that's what people will come for.
Oh, yeah. You just need the representation and the verbiage.
Yep.
It's all good.
back to before the turn of the century, admit that local artists, writers, newspapermen, you name it, wanted a place away from the so-called backwardsness of the West Coast, the Judeo-Christian ethic. They found that place an hour and a half north of San Francisco, outside of the tiny town of Monterrey. Their annals even admit an obsession with the occult and what they called druid rituals. Amongst the great redwood trees, they revived ancient ceremonies that in truth had their roots not in the Druids, but in Babylon itself. As the railroads brought commerce and larger populations, the prestige of the club grew until, in the year 2000, it is a gathering place for the world establishment, the elite. We're about to show you some of the key evidence documenting this. It is absolutely central to understand that these bizarre activities have been engaged in going back to 1873 and are not some new fanciful whim of the trendies on the West Coast. By the turn of the century, there was already a 10 to 15-year waiting list. Presidents from Howard Taft to Herbert Hoover were on the membership roster. Not to mention, later, famous war general Dwight D. Eisenhower, later to become president. The roster of the Bohemian Club reads like a who's who of the elite. Look at this photo taken inside the Grove back in 1963. There you'll see Ronald Reagan, and sitting two people over from him, later to become president, Richard Milhouse Nixon. Frankly, we don't know if these men actively enjoy the things that go on inside the Bohemian Club. But one thing is perfectly certain from the evidence. They are forced to go and attend and take part in these activities if they wish to be elevated to the highest levels of the geopolitical power structure. Take George Bush Sr., documented member. And then, of course, there's his son. Now, the last 4 generations of Bushes have also attended the Skull and Bones Society at Yale, well known to be steeped in the occult. Then there's Bill Clinton, a frequent attendee. Upon closer inspection, the entire federal government at the highest levels is infested with Bohemian Club members. And it doesn't stop there. America's private run-for-profit Federal Reserve Bank, from its very inception in 1913, has been run by prominent members of the Bohemian Club. Central Bank Chairman Alan Greenspan was seen leaving the Bohemian Grove only 1 month before he was appointed chairman of the Federal Reserve. He had to be a made man, to be a member of the most powerful cabal on the planet. Historical records are clear from major universities. The Manhattan Project was planned and instituted and run from the Bohemian Club. All of this going on in an atmosphere of bizarre revelry. You're looking at an illustration from a November 1989 issue of Spy magazine. Spy goes undercover with Henry Kissinger, Merv Griffin, and William F. Buckley Jr. The story was clearly a shill, meant to misdirect the intensifying media coverage that the Grove was getting in the late 1980s. The writer's spin is obvious. They're just masters of the universe, big frat boys blowing off steam. We'll get back to this article later. Because you can clearly see that the mantra in the spin story has been picked up as a front by all the local media. Sure, they're elitist. Sure, they have some bizarre rituals. But what's the big deal? They're just having fun. If that was the case, why would David Gergen, presidential advisor to President Clinton, resign from the Bohemian Club and 17 other organizations when it was revealed in 1993? Organizations like the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg Group. But it's not just the Washington Times and the Sacramento Bee. You're looking at an illustration from the pages of Parade magazine, February 22nd, 1981.
Parade.
This story was the most accurate and revealing, detailing the so-called mock human sacrifice. Former German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt wrote extensively in his memoirs, Men and Powers, a Political Retrospective, goes into great detail about the secret establishment running the world, the Trilateral Commission, the CFR, the Bilderberg Group, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Bohemian Grove, a place that he often talked about being a wonderful hideaway, a place to spend time with Nelson and David Rockefeller, and to talk about world government and steering societies. On page 225 of Men and Powers, he talks about it being one of the most astounding places he had ever visited in the United States, and how that feeling intensified over the years with subsequent visits. The book goes on for page after page discussing the corporate, private, governmental infrastructure of world government. Going back to the Spy magazine spin piece, they have lots of rosy illustrations of drunken establishment types dancing around having fun with the rituals going on in the background. They even admit that they wear bizarre Ku Klux Klan-style robes. And there's even a photo released by the Grove of the ritual being engaged in. They talk about the incredible security surrounding the Grove. And they even admit that a corpse, a sacrifice, is born across the lake. But it's all in good fun.
The soundtrack.
It's so great. This is like a found footage movie from the 80s is what this is, except it's all real and it's Alex Jones.
I was totally thinking that, like, this was so vintage. I'm ready for, like, Jason to pop up or something. It's perfect.
We're watching a fucking found footage movie right now. That's like, it has exactly the same vibe. If you release this as just like a normal movie in the theater, I would not know the difference.
Declaration of Independence in school, they say it's racist. Yes, all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When in the course of human events, I mean, come on, people, all men are created equal? How is that racist? Well, that's what the Black Caucus says in Pennsylvania. And the media goes, yes, racist, don't be racist. And, of course, the Black Caucus is being manipulated by their globalist banker masters. It's not even a black-white thing. It's just anything that's good for the country is racist, is backwards, is stupid. Remember the story I read last week? Then we're going to go to your calls. The review of The Patriot out of MSNBC. It's actually a review of the reviews. War of Words over The Patriot, Hollywood's horror over conservative family values is the headline. It says... The Patriot is right-wing hogwash bathed in an old, timely golden glow, writes Aaron Berger of the Washington City paper. Now the disgruntled homeschooling SUV buying...
How you doing? Alex Jones. The Republicans have this deal every year where they even admit in the papers they burn satanic effigies, run around naked in the woods. Former presidents. It's called Bohemian Grove. We're going to go infiltrate it and get in and document what they're doing.
Where's this at?
It's north of San Francisco, on 2,700 acres. Been doing it for 100-some years. It's even in the Sacramento Bee and papers. But this is how arrogant they are. I mean, they don't admit the naked part, but they burn this thing called the Cremation of Care, and it's actually Moloch worship, which goes back to Babylon, where they have the great owl and they heat it up inside the Bible. They throw the baby in. They even admit it. I mean, but they don't throw a baby in. They just burn the stuff inside. Stand around in like red robes, red Ku Klux Klan robes. Needless to say, we're a little bit jittery. At least I am. Oh, these two know what they're getting into. But we're beating the British media, Channel 4, the national media there. Agree with us.
All right. Yeah, verified ID, Mike.
I almost scratched my hand.
Yo, this was before 9/11.
Yeah.
Yo, this is old.
Yeah. Does it say under the video description what year this was put out?
It says 2000.
Okay, so yeah, then a year before.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you on the phone the other day. The show was good. And so forth, and I think more of it's starting to get involved.
Well, folks are starting to wake up. That's what it's all about.
I hear you talking.
Yeah.
I remember you saying our dream was going to San Francisco. We're going to have a program live this next week.
Yeah.
Good tag for you, Mom.
Should have it the following week.
Yeah.
You want to check it?
Yeah, we got to check that. Well, it's already got a tag on it.
Yeah.
Bag's still plenty. I'll be plenty. Awesome. Thanks.
Do you want to take a sip?
Oh, wait, Sam, Chuck, you be careful, bud. You'll be happy. All right, let's
Starting to like it. Hey, Violet. I'm starting to like it.
you like that little camera?
Yeah.
I know, but it's about you and your mission, so fork it over.
Okay, let's go.
Quickly slide the metal end into the buckle and adjust by pulling on the loose end of the strap.
All right, I'm gonna visit the little goddess room.
All right, we'll be
I
here.
had about 2 pots of hot tea today. So.
Oh.
The Golden Gate, too, honey? Actually, it's worse than crashing water. Contrary to Hollywood.
After landing in San Francisco at the International Airport, we traveled through the city, across the Golden Gate Bridge, into deeper Northern California. Northern California, home to the giant Sequoia Redwoods. From there north to Santa Rosa, going west on Highway 12, the gateway to Bohemian Grove. We spent the first night in Santa Rosa before getting up early in the morning and traveling into the town of Occidental, where we were going to meet the British media and start our investigation. Well, here we are in Northern California, right outside the Bohemian Grove. The fruits of nature. But I'll tell you this, I don't worship it and sacrifice things to it. Let's go find out what's going on. Yeah.
The fruits of nature.
All right. Well, here we are, folks. Turning on
Hey,
to
by
the
the way-
Bohemian Highway and
Oh,
Bohemian Grove.
hang on. Go ahead.
We just had a lightning strike probably at the bottom of my hill. So
Oh, yeah?
if I suddenly have another one of those moments, I'll be back.
All right. All right. I remember when the last time this happened, I saw your power surge and then everything went dark. It was great.
Yeah, I was going back into the room and I just like everything just flashed. The entire house lit up.
Okay.
And I stood there and I'm like, one, and I counted to 5, and then it just the whole house rumbled. And of course the dogs went shooting through, and I'm like, wow. So I'll just let you know if I get struck by
All right.
lightning.
Everyone send positive vibes to Jennifer to not get struck by lightning tonight.
Don't cross the streams.
At least don't do it live on the internet. That's just rude.
What, get struck by lightning?
We're watching a movie here,
That's a lot of
Jennifer.
It'd be really good for clicks, though.
Yes. Yeah, Jennifer dies live. Erotic fiction author, renowned erotic fiction author, Jennifer dies live on the internet. And the only thing that remains of her memory is the drawing of the alien dick.
The alien dick, yep. Charred remains
Uh-huh.
found next to a picture of an alien dick. Yep.
We're going to find out what in the New World Order is going on here. Did you get that, Hanson?
Yeah. No, I'm back there. Oh, that's that guy. Thank you, Parker.
I tell you, it's beautiful out here during the day, but it is spooky at night. I don't know if you guys got some footage of it, all the fog and the rest of it.
So are you excited?
Oh yeah, I really want to check into some maps and things, and I'm willing. I mean, hiking into 2,700 acres is not too hard. We need to get into the woods. We need to sort ourselves. We need to catch these people at their business. The old cremation of care. Their little Moloch or Maloch or Maloch's worship. I'm joking. That's the. Well, they're spies, aren't they? Well, you guys just got here too?
Camera wars.
Stereo. I want to hang out in the woods till it gets dark.
I've got a map. You guys want to look at that?
My question is, the history. What do they do if they catch you in there?
They have us killed.
I doubt that.
Alive.
I don't know. I
the
don't.
darts that you're skin will probably hang upside down on a redwood tree.
I doubt that.
No, we'll see. No, I think they'll just check us out. Check it out.
What about me? Because I'm a woman, I can't really sneak in, can I? I mean,
You can't.
I can.
You've got to stay.
I've got to stay.
Yeah.
I've got to stay behind in the spooky Occidental Lodge.
No chicks allowed.
Oh,
My
that's
question
right.
is there a fence all the way around the property?
No, just trees.
Okay, here's the big question. What farmers or ranchers living here who are going to blow my ass off if they see me sniffing across? Because I have no problem. There is a road. If I can be shown a way to insert myself into this with Hanson. But then I need to know where the cremation of care, what day they're supposed to do it, where this pond is.
Tomorrow night at dusk.
That would mean that from the air, and this will actually take some real planning because I didn't have these maps like you guys do. I'm going to need to know where I'm supposed to get in here at. Where there's a road, where...
Well, this guy tonight will give you a really good briefing.
Yeah, this guy tonight knows everything.
You think you can trust him?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
We'll be the judges.
I'm not going to end up tied down a pentagram with Henry Kissinger's fat belly hanging over while he's naked with a big dagger, am I? I just want to make sure that's a joke.
Just the thought is great.
Oh, like Governor Bush running around in a pink tutu, foaming at the mouth with a purple wig on, am I? No. Supposedly, I hear that's what they do. So. I don't know.
I think they do these things, but the question is why.
And these power brokers, which bomb innocent countries and slaughter people and pump the food chain full of garbage and just everything else they do, it's probably something fun for them. And they really get off on being bad little boys.
And rule the world. I mean, this is for some people. This is the secret room.
Well, I mean, certainly in the whole class system, it's the pleasures of class. And now what class is, the power that you have is something different. And to me, I mean, from my research at Bohemian Grove, and you guys have obviously done more, I've read a lot of mainstream articles, alternative, talked to people, talked to some guests. It's really when people go in there to do whatever they want to do. So there are probably people sitting around fishing and probably people sitting around doing something completely different. Yeah, that looks like it could be a phenomenon.
Yeah, okay, there's the stage. Right, that's where the talks happen. Because they've got this amphitheatre, and they have these kind of talks, and this is where George Bush gives talks and people like that on this stage. Oh look, there's the lake. There you go. Lakeside talks. There's the lake. There's the shrine. See? Right there. That's where.
Honey, come get a shot of this. Now, where's this river? This is near the Russian River.
You see it?
Now, see, here's the shrine of their devil owl, which they even admit has its roots in like Babylon and the Druids, Adam, and everything else. So all over the world, this weird owl shows up. In some cultures, they've thrown children inside the bowels of this burning owl.
Like the Wicker
That's
Man.
historical. We've all read in the Bible about throwing your children to idols inside their, So it's weird behavior, definitely, so it needs to be investigated. And plus, it gets the adrenaline out. Thrill seekers have to have more. But here you go, honey. Right here at the shrine. Can you zoom in on that, Mike? I'm saying honey to my girlfriend Violet, not Mike here. We're getting real bohemian now, aren't we? This is honey. We get a close shot here. But it did sound like that she's definitely leftward leaning. Then we get into the whole semantical debate about is there a left and a right, and to me there really isn't. There's the command and control on one end and anarchy on the other, and I want to be on the middle of the real spectrum. Certainly got to have some control in a complex society and civilization.
Did you hear that?
All the developments I see are pretty bad.
Command and control on one side and anarchy on the other.
Yeah, and the point?
Just that nothing has changed. It's just gotten more so, you know?
Oh, of course.
Like, here we are. This is 25 years ago, and it just keeps getting more the same, more commandy and more anarchy. It's amazing.
It's true. I agree.
Towards dehumanization. And now you got the UN demanding everybody sign on to this International Criminal Court. And they're telling the U.S. if we don't sign on, it won't matter. If 60 countries ratify, we'll be under its control. I mean, we're here. We're at global government now. When they're saying they're going to have some world court in the Netherlands that they'll take anybody they want to. In fact, I was reading some of the talks that they've given and they've released that the Bohemian Grove has discussed, and it's all population control, world courts. You're talking 20 years ago. So definitely some stuff going on here that's pretty important. But is it the ultimate elitist retreat? I would imagine those we don't even know the names of. This is probably just one more steering committee where they bring in a lot of underlings and high-level corporate chieftains that really aren't the upper top echelon, make them feel important, and then implement some type of strategy. From the stories I've read and things that happen, I mean, it is pretty well documented that people run around naked. They have orgies. They go into town and have orgies, and these are world leaders. We've got a serious problem with that. Just by the very nature of how this, to me, Bohemian Grove is probably a way to compromise people. You want to be in the New World Order Club. Yeah, it's like a big kid fraternity. And just like in fraternities, you have to do weird things. Here, you probably do weird things. But I got a problem with governors and presidents and prime ministers and corporate chieftains running around and doing this when they have so much power over what happens in the public domain. They have a responsibility to disclose what they're doing. So I think it is important, like you were saying, to somehow try to maintain some security and not be way out in the open because they'll call in a bunch of security.
And the bush might be yours. The bush is George Bush.
Yeah. I hear
like he often is.
I hear he really enjoys himself here.
I think Henry Kissinger will be here.
Well, if I got a stink detector, we'll be able to find out where he's at. I was like, everything evil you can imagine, Kissinger's always involved in it.
Isn't he a Republican, though?
I'm not a Republican. That's the point I keep making. This whole Democrat-Republican deal is a complete... People always go back to that, though. Probably like in your country, you've got Labor and you've got the Tories over there. And it's all the same people behind closed doors. It's just a big joke. And your leadership, our leadership, it's all the same people. I mean, you do see a fight going on, but it's two different management teams of the same system, bidding for control. What I call the CEO jobs of Slavery Incorporated.
Yeah, we can watch Channeling Eric anytime. Is there a specific one you want to watch, John? I'm always up for watching Channeling Eric. Let us know. It's crazy how you can say all the same stuff about things today, though. It's just crazy. It's like, yeah, well, Alex Jones was pretty right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the. I think what's so hilarious is how mainstream he is now, and it just cracks me up so hard. Bot asked if Trump has ever been to Bohemian Grove. No, as far as I know, he has not. So just to answer that before I forget.
Do you worry for Alex, Violet?
I do. I just, because Alex gets so impassioned by what he's doing that sometimes I'm afraid that he might be a little bit, reckless or maybe a little bit too fearless.
Never be reckless.
I worry about Alex when he drives down the street to come home. Especially
Alex would never say that a mass shooting involving 5-year-olds didn't actually happen. That would never happen, and they get sued for $1 billion. Like,
well, no, he said it happened, but he said it was like set up, like a false flag. Eesh, not a good look.
Like, I don't know people. Listen. I know people love Alex Jones. I don't have anything against Alex Jones. I'm just saying he should have known better. Like, he is not like an innocent snowflake in this scenario. He should have known better.
He gets a little too full of his own knowledge to the point where he goes overboard. And so when anytime somebody around him tries to pull him back, he's like, no, I know what I'm talking about. And then off the cliff he goes.
Yeah. It's like, bless your heart, but you should have known better.
I used to worry about him when he had to come home every night from the same, radio studio at the same time in the same car. And, I worry about him sometimes when he's late getting back in the studio and he doesn't give me a call. I mean, he is putting himself out there, but I think the fact that he's in the public eye as much as he is really, keeps him safe to a certain degree. So maybe something like this is, people might not necessarily know where he is right now, people that listen to the radio or whatever. So it's maybe a little bit more risky, and it's a little creepy at night up here in the woods,
And you're definitely not dangerous. You're not going to do anything stupid this weekend.
Well, dangerous to what? Dangerous to myself? Are these people dangerous? They certainly may be, but I'm completely nonviolent when it comes to just going out there and trying to get the information. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm an activist first and foremost, but also a journalist in that I'll make some jokes and speculate occasionally because I'm a radio talk show host. But when I say something that I believe, I have to be on target about it. But dangerous? I'm definitely dangerous to corrupt bureaucrats and their financial bosses that would like to control the American people on the planet.
But not in a violent way.
Not in a violent way. And for anybody that doubts we're in global government now or entering it, you've now got this UN criminal court. They're saying if 60 countries ratify it, then it doesn't matter if America doesn't sign on. Kofi Annan claims he has power to enter any country anytime he wishes. We've all read that, and seen it on television. So I'm fighting this global government. And long before global government came out in the open, in the last 4 or 5 years, they were conditioning the public that anyone that talks about global government is a kook, a weirdo, a terrorist, a racist. And now they're out on the nightly news saying global government's here, you better accept it, we're getting rid of juries all across the planet. The IMF, the World Bank, basically runs things now. The WTO decides what you can buy and sell and trade on the international market.
Just to be really clear, I'm not actually surprised at any of this being exactly the same because, I did the Brief History of Racism book. I tracked it, and it's just that was one of the reasons I wanted to publish that because it was so striking. It's it's literally always been the same. It didn't actually change. There was no redefinition. It's literally always been the same.
They just keep acting like it's a new thing. Oh my God, this just happened. This has never happened before. Everybody get mad again.
Yep.
It's always the same fucking playbook every time.
Market. But see, they've preconditioned us that it doesn't exist. They've preconditioned us that anybody that talks about this stuff and who is against it is a kook or a racist because it doesn't exist. And then everybody's decided, well, I'm going to be culturally cool. I want to be in style. I want to be accepted. So even when they're hearing the news admit it and tell us how great it is, they've already pre-positioned it psychologically that it's not acceptable, it's not kosher to discuss it. Do you see the tactic they're using there? Mm-hmm. 5 years ago, I would laugh when I heard about black helicopters. I would say, I'm about taxes, I'm about corruption, I'm about getting local control back, I'm about states' rights, everything's coming under federal control. I was pretty mainstream, what you'd call so-called conservative. Then I saw the light when black helicopters started going into North Carolina. I started going into Florida. They fired into an all-night restaurant in Miami, just training, firing bullets into a place where people were eating. They started burning buildings. Police chiefs started throwing them out of their towns, San Antonio. All this started happening, and I said, whoa, this is real. And then I realized that I was preconditioned, even as a so-called conservative person who understood that the media lied. I didn't realize how thick the propaganda was. That they precondition us before they release something on us, that it, number one, doesn't exist in our minds with classic doublethink, but then it can re-exist at the same time. If they say it does, and it's good. So it's literally George Orwell's doublethink. And one has to have it to stay sane in this world. Well, I refuse to be a part of it. The news every day, black helicopters are a joke, they're stupid, the culture, commercials, movies. At the same time, almost every month in this country, they're attacking and terrorizing some town with burning buildings and terror. And I don't want to be part of their sick, control freak system. I don't like these degenerate, inbred, New World Order crowd people. They're not going to run my life. They're not going to control me. And I'm going to try to expose them. And I think we've had some success doing that. But I know this, the Henry Kissingers, the George Bushes, those people, these are dangerous individuals. They've proven they're dangerous. They have no problem controlling and destroying entire societies.
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't going to actually push any of them in the river or you know, throw them into the...
No. Hey, Violet, look how pretty it is.
Sure is pretty.
Mike, you enjoying yourself?
A lot less spooky during the daytime.
It's all foggy. Now we're going to take our British friends down into the forest a little bit later tonight. Let them gallivant in the werewolf-ridden woods. Joking. They'll have me on there. Alex Jones, radio talk show host, believes werewolves infest Northern California. They've been seen dancing with grizzly bears. Small pixies been even witnessed playing violins for George Bush. Don't know what to make of what's going to happen. I can't begin to imagine what we're going to discover when I infiltrate tomorrow and try to get the Cremation of Care. Their Moloch worship, or however you pronounce it, some ancient pagan human sacrifice behavior. I don't know if they actually have the human involved. I certainly doubt it. I certainly hope not. But you know, these globalists and elitists all throughout history, going back to the old empires, they like to, well, do more and more obscene things to, well, as some say, get off. So we'll see what develops.
Yeah, to get off, exactly, Alex.
We're very close to the gateway to Bohemian Grove now. The first set of gates and security. They have a small guard check at the front, and then they have a larger second one. Not a through road. Get a shot of that. There's a guard gate right over there, a small guard gate, and then back further, an even more elaborate guard gate with surveillance cameras, you name it. Not a through road, ladies and gentlemen, right up here in Northern California. How you doing, sir? Okay. Camp Seeker? Yeah. I'm Alex Jones. I make documentaries. I'm just curious, what do you think about Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there.
You used to work there?
Yeah.
And now you work at Camp Meeker?
No, I don't work. Yeah, I live in Camp Meeker.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Did you ever watch the Cremation of Care?
No. No.
What'd you do at the...
I just worked there.
But, I mean,
yeah.
you never saw him march around in the red robes? And
No.
Oh, really? That doesn't go on?
But, yeah.
Okay. Thanks. What have you guys heard about Bohemian Grove?
Oh, I don't know. Bunch of rich people, right?
Have you ever heard about the 40-foot stone owl and the mock human sacrifice?
I heard about it a little bit, yeah.
Roll that window down. We can talk to you. Hold on. What's going on here?
I don't know. Oh, yeah?
So what have you heard about the...
Oh, I just read stuff about it in the paper. I don't know. Some people don't like it. They protested or something weird.
But what about the 40-foot stone owl and the mock human sacrifice? You say you heard something about that?
Well, just what I read about in the paper.
Oh, the paper admitted that?
Well, no, I don't know if they admitted it. They just said people go protest it. It supposedly happens. Sounds kind of weird.
Does sound weird to me.
Yeah. Why, you guys? What are you guys doing? This TV show or something?
We're just having fun.
Oh yeah.
This town isn't like Children of the Corn or anything, is it?
Oh no, nothing like that.
Another green.
I'm sure. I don't know. Well, supposedly lots of people go there. Some kind of weird event. I don't know. You guys know anything about it? You don't know.
What would you say if we told you that they sacrificed a human in effigy in mock to a 40-foot stone owl in black and red and silver cloaks?
Sounds kind of different.
Do you think it's good to have? Do you think it's good to have so-called world leaders secretly engaging in pagan?
That's a 90s baby right
I'm
there.
just thinking the same thing. I was like, this is the 90s. Oh, man.
Sounds kind of different. Yep.
The 90s were the best. Best decade.
I think 80s and 90s, like kids that were kids and teens in the 80s and 90s were like the most based fucking group. Well, I'm gonna maybe some of the 70s there because I am X-Gen. I think we're the best.
In activities?
I can't say it's that great, no.
Why would you have a problem with that?
Well, I don't know. It could be
not
alright.
on their phones.
Depends how you look at it.
Like
kind of relative.
There were no phones.
Yeah.
There were no phones.
Got to sacrifice care to the winds, huh?
I don't know. Could just be for fun.
I didn't even want to use the phone in my own house. There were no phones.
Oh yeah. Well, you had to ask permission. And then if you wanted to call your friends, you had to go through their parents. You had to ask your parents to use the phone. Then you had to talk to their parents. And then they would tell you whether or not you could talk to their child. And for how long. I mean, it was so different.
And it was really easy for people to spy, too, because if you used one phone in the house, someone could just pick up another phone in the house somewhere and listen to your entire fucking phone call, and you would have no idea.
Yep. You could even, like, we would go so far as to unscrew the talkie part and just pull it out and nothing. You guys don't even know how advanced y'all are. Like we had it rough, man.
we could be spied on constantly.
Oh yeah. You had to listen for that little click on the line. If you heard like someone, because they'd lift the little depressor for when the phone would rest on, and if you heard it go click on the line, you go, hang on. You go walking through the house to see if anybody had the phone off.
Yeah, you had to go investigate now because you don't know if they really did or if they just put the thing down. They just push the button down and then let it out real slow. Yeah.
Like it would be quieter the slower you unhooked it because it still made the same connection or disconnection. Oh my God.
They could really be weird.
We run around naked. And freak out.
Yeah. We're so old that when you got a phone call during this time, it would kick you off the internet.
Oh, that was the worst ever. You're in a chat room and those things would go 90 miles a minute and you're like, and now someone's like,
yeah.
Ah! Yep.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, to tell you the truth, here's a funny story.
What else? Okay, go ahead.
No, this is the truth. A couple years ago, I was down the road, just down Yar, past Camp Meeker, and I was stopped with a friend of mine.
Now, Camp Meeker's right outside Bohemian Grove.
That's an affirmative.
Yes.
And we were down the road, and we were stopped there because we were just having a cigarette, hanging out, taking a break, and some Secret Service men actually pulled up behind us and asked us what we were doing while we were there. This is true. And they were like, "What are you guys doing? Where are you at? Why are you parked here? What's going on?" And asked us a whole bunch of questions. What our names were, who we were affiliated with, where we lived, all kinds of stuff. So interrogated us.
Did you answer their questions?
Totally.
I don't know. We always hear there's like big, fat, rich guys with prostitutes there.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the owl and the rituals?
I don't know anything about it.
Never heard about the rituals?
Rituals.
Ritual killing of a human sacrifice of a human?
Nope. Never heard of it.
What would you think if that was going on?
I think it's pretty weird. Wouldn't be that surprised. I mean, it is our government after all.
Hey, thanks for talking to us, bud.
You know?
Hey, I like your shirt. Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
We're talking about the Bohemian Grove and trying to see what locals think about it. How it's all secret and all these fat cats there and the supposed strange rituals that go on. Are you a local?
No, but she is.
What do you think about the Bohemian Grove?
I know I think see. It offers a lot of employment.
Offers a lot of employment?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? What kind of rituals do they do there?
I don't know. We're talking to locals about what the rumors are.
What are the rumors?
About a big 40-foot stone owl and simulated human sacrifice.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't know about that, but it's politicians that come that vacation there. And
It'd be really weird if politicians were acting like they were sacrificing people, wouldn't it?
No, you can't trust politicians, you know.
Oh, really? They might be doing it, huh?
They might, yeah. The politicians, you know.
I hear you, bud. Hey, good talking to you.
Right.
Appreciate it. You guys take care.
Good luck.
Hey, those are some pretty flowers.
That's the sweet peas.
Those are real, folks.
Yeah, they're real.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
Yeah? Yeah.
This area is in trouble.
Yeah, we are.
It's in big trouble.
No, this is a wonderful area of the country. We're just asking locals what they think of the Bohemian Grove.
The Bohemian Grove is a wonderful place.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been in there a bunch of times.
What'd you do, work there? Or
Work there, yeah. Yeah. Because you know when it's the most wonderfulest time? Is when nobody's there.
Oh, it's a beautiful area?
Yeah. Yeah, very beautiful. It's got big trees.
Have you ever been there for the Cremation of Care?
No.
So you've never been there for the rituals?
No.
You ever heard about them?
Yes.
What have you heard they do, sir?
Nothing. They've got that tree that looks like an owl.
Tree that looks like an owl?
Tree or rock, it's a carving, or it's where the stage is.
But have you heard what they do during that?
No, I have no idea what they do during
What would you say if we told you they burn a human being in effigy? They don't really do it. They burn it in effigy.
I don't know what that means.
Well, they have like a dummy that looks like a person under a black blanket.
Huh?
They take it up there and burn it.
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty weird.
Huh?
Pretty weird.
Yeah, I never seen that.
How long you lived around here?
I don't know. How old am I?
20,
40 years?
Yeah. Really? Oh, your whole life?
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Raul.
Yeah, this is Vital Roots.
How long's Vital Roots been here?
Couple years.
Couple years.
The Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of politicians, a lot of big wigs, making a lot of big decisions.
Oh, really? Do you think it's good that they get together in secret and make all these so-called decisions?
Do I think it's good?
Yeah.
No, of course not. Do you?
What about the rituals? Have you heard anything about the rituals that go on?
Oh, there's all kinds of rumors about rituals that go on there.
What type of rumors have you heard?
Don't make me go there.
Please, come on, we're trying to talk to some locals. I'm just wondering. It's interesting.
Well, I really don't know that much about it. You know, just what I've read in books. There's books out about it.
Oh, you've read books on it, huh?
I had a book that was published in 1956 that was written about some of the rituals.
Because now it's been going on for 120 plus years.
Yeah.
I think they said they just had their 120th something anniversary.
Yeah.
What would you say if I told you that there's a 40-foot stone owl and that they burn a human being in effigy, not in real life, but in effigy?
I wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it?
Nah. I think it's a bunch of garbage.
So you doubt there's a stone?
Well, I wouldn't doubt there's a stone owl. Maybe there's a stone owl, but I wouldn't think that's kind of, you know, rumors it's rumors, you know, what the word implies, pretty much.
Just a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of hearsay.
Pure conspiracy theory.
Good, whatever.
Well,
first off, how long you lived around here?
Approximately on and off, 32 years.
Oh, really? So most of your life?
Mm-hmm.
What have you heard about the Bohemian Grove?
It's where all of the, like, FBI and you're talking about the Bohemian Grove. Yeah, it's like the quote-unquote elite and presidential retreat.
Have you heard about the rituals that go on there?
No, I haven't. Well, the people who have more money than the rest of us in the world are a bit different. They're stingy. They want to hoard it all for themselves. And they think they're going to go to heaven. They're not. Because they don't know how to provide or do as Jesus told them to.
What would you say if I told you that they sacrifice a human in effigy before a giant 45 to 50-foot stone owl?
I would say that's probably why they're going to hell.
Really?
Sure.
Have you ever heard about that?
Mm-mm.
You lived here your whole life?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you born?
San Francisco.
It's a beautiful town.
Oh,
of course, we've got the Grove just about 10 miles down the road. Have you talked to people that work there?
No, I haven't. They're kind of... I don't really know anybody that works down there.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, yeah. I know people that have gone down there. A couple years ago when Schwarzkopf and Colin Powell. They were all down there doing big presentational speeches and whatnot. I've heard about that, but, and presidents that have gone there for the retreats and whatnot. And I've heard it's also a quote-unquote elite men's club only. Women haven't been able to or allowed to work there except for in the past few years, which they're only kept in the parking lot. They're valet parkers. That's the only job women can have there. Because whatever goes on in there.
What if I told you that it's true that they burn a human being in effigy to a giant owl god and that they start worshiping the owl and talking about how it gives them power? What do you think about that?
I would say they are in grand delusion and they need to give some of their money away.
So you think they're on a power trip?
Totally.
But what does this burning a person do? This is ancient. Did you know that thousands of years ago, different societies would have large metal hollow owls that would throw children into them?
I would say they're quite satanic. Or on another level, if you will, more demented. Very sick.
But these people, we're talking about billions, and then we're talking about governmental control. Is it bad to have something that's secret, elite, and pagan at the same time?
Yeah, sounds like Satan's building his cult.
What'd you just say?
I said, hang on a second. We need to come up for some damn air here.
All right. What do you want to say?
Well, I just feel like Alex Jones is really leading this guy for one. And a lot of it, he's just like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so now he's putting those thoughts in this guy's head like, wow, that really happens. And, someone said in the chat earlier that people were really naive back then. Yes and no. I mean, people knew not to trust the government. It's all kind of the same opinion we have now, but we didn't have it in our face 24/7 on the media, the phone, the television, everywhere you go is something about something, it's just constant now. But the opinions are the same. Don't trust them. They all suck. They're all corrupt. Nobody likes them.
Yeah. People gotta understand, like, we didn't have ChatGPT back then. Like it actually is amazing. Like, we can literally, like, I looked up like so many disparate questions today on ChatGPT. Just like whatever you want to know is available to you within seconds of you asking it. We didn't have that back then.
And not just that, but like 20 different versions of it.
Yeah,
are available.
And you can rewrite it. You can say, "What about this? What are the connect?" Like, we didn't have that. We had to look shit up in encyclopedias. Sometimes we had to look through local newspaper. I had a summer job 2 summers in a row working for the insurance company my mother worked for. And do you know what my summer job was? Is I sat there and I listened to music and I sorted microfiche. All day, every day. And it was actually very relaxing. You have to sort through they had all their files on this fucking microfiche, and then you had to sort them and put them in the files and all this stuff. And this is like literally they had a massive team of people doing this all day, every day, because that's what happened back then.
Well, and everything was physical records. It had to be cataloged. And but also I know that there was, and I want to say this was in Rome, but if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong about that. I think it was Roman, but it could have also been back in the Minoan civilization as well, where they would have a bowl and they would put a fire under the bowl. And they would put slaves or criminals or enemies in this iron bowl and they would cook them with a fire. So he's talking about, well, I know these roast children in an owl. I'm like, fuck off, Alex. Okay, this is when Alex Jones just starts doing meow, 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 meow. I'm Alex Jones and I'm mouthing things. And this is when he loses me. And he's like, well, that's a known fact. As pagans used to do that. I'm like, no, we didn't. Stop it. Stop it. We did not burn children. Pagan cultures took human sacrifice very, 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 very fucking seriously. And for the most part, now I'm not saying, yay, human sacrifice. No. The ones who practiced it usually used, they used volunteers, people who believed that they were sacrificing for the good of their own culture. So it was a voluntary thing. Or they would use enemies captured from during wartime. And it was never done just to do it. And this is not the Mayans and the Aztecs that were like a blood culture. They were a blood sacrifice ritualistic culture. But most, especially in the European pagan cultures, did not practice human sacrifice unless it was a dire circumstance and they had nothing left. They would try everything else first. But as far as like that bull goes, I know that was a thing because the Romans were gross and they had a lot of ritualistic mutilation theater that was part of their culture. And I think that roasting bull thing was one of them. It was not a fucking owl with kids in it. So Alex Jones, calm the fuck down. I just had to say that.
It's a little hyperbolic and outlandish, and it's the same thing with like the right today now as it was back then. It's just like they thrive on sensationalism, and I just want to be like, can everyone just calm down? Like there is actual crazy going on. Like there is actually real crazy.
Yeah.
But like when you make everything crazy and you make everything hyperbolic, it makes it impossible to actually see the real crazy because everything is the real crazy. So not only are you not helping, you're actually hurting the situation.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, maybe that is the point.
You know, what did little Dash say from The Incredibles? When everyone's special, no one is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use I'm a little teapot, short and stout room. Sorry.
All right. Well, if you guys are joining us for DISENRAGE tonight for the first time, welcome. This is a show that Jennifer and I do on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. where we do more spiritual or conspiracy content, or we talk about aliens and crystals and channeling and all that, and reptilians and all sorts of fun stuff. And if you want to come back and join us on Tuesdays at 9 p.m., you can feel welcome to do so. But please mount the like button for me.
He's building his army.
Sachet full of sweetener in him. It's really going for it. It's going wow like that.
No, you've been feeding him sweetener.
No, he fed himself.
So he came up on here.
We started there using the sweetener. In fact, there's the evidence. So he's been in there.
Good, he has to.
And then he went down. Oh, then he went over here. And then he went down there. Now he's a bit lost.
Thank you. Pretty snail.
I think it's probably bugged actually.
And that's a federal agent right there.
Hey, you know, the guy came up to us just now. This is one of the new breed of high-tech federal agents. All this is in there is just tech. This guy came up to us just now.
Nanotechnology micro beast. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
He came up and he said, "You work in the Grove?" First question.
He said, "You work in the Grove?"
Yeah, and he had a big bushy beard, and he looked like he'd had a lot of acid. And it's like...
Really?
So
What'd you say?
I said, yeah. And he said, oh yeah. And then he started talking about the weather for half an hour. So we don't know what to make of him.
Now, yesterday, you were talking to an Australian who lives around here now.
Yeah.
He was talking about the FBI.
Yeah, this Australian we met yesterday. He's been here for 3 years. And he says that about 2-3 months ago, the whole place was saturated with men in black, FBI, Secret Service and everything, going up and down the roads, checking everything, checking houses, everything from bombs and stuff, and then they all disappeared, and they were looking out for undesirables in the area who were persuaded to go. That was his story.
And now we're going to talk to him. And now we're going to infiltrate.
I think we should go and see what we can see.
The public has a right to know.
They do.
The public may have a right to know, but the people in this cafe, I think, shouldn't know.
I agree.
Well, you've got to go in up the road that says no through road, because we've got to sit in the car and get a shot of you going up the road. So you've got to go in. You've got to be the guinea pig. But you're a brave man, Alex, aren't you?
No problem, yeah.
So that's cool. I wouldn't ask a man who wasn't as brave as you.
All right, it's no big deal. I'm just gonna go in and make sure everything goes good. I'm sure you guys will come right through fine too.
My only concern is figuring out the right type of baggage to carry this in, also still shuts in.
Well, I personally would recommend that you wide yourself up with your what's it called?
Hidden camera.
Yeah, your hidden camera that's in the shape of a pager.
Problem is, we got some stuff on last night, we checked it out, but it's very unwieldy, not trustworthy.
Right.
If I can just get in the woods with this, it's over.
That's true.
And even if I'm going early now. I'm probably going about 3:30 with Mike, and we'll just hang out inside. In case they throw me out, I'm still getting back on the property.
Oh, so you're gonna go in way before Rick gets here?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, cool. Well, we'll just sit in the car.
But I mean, you understand why? Not because I want to hang out in there all day. It's because I've got to get in. Because if they catch me, then I'm gonna got to sneak back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will not be stopped.
You know, I went with Big Jim Tucker from the Spotlights to a Bilderberg meeting last year. But that was my first time, and we got chased away by men in dark glasses, and you know, I was a bit scared then. But I feel safe with you, Alex.
Well, Tucker's a good writer.
Oh yeah, I like Tucker.
All of this connects.
It kind of defeats the most of it just being a tie and a pager.
Doesn't it? But the whole thing is that, I guess, if you have it all inside your bag because you've got...
Yeah, it's really only about like
and
that.
And it's a TV, so you get good quality, I guess.
I mean, all the wires can get something like that, and they just run right up.
And so everything would, of course, just fit right in my little bag.
Oh, I see. So that's what... Right.
Yeah, everything goes in here like this. This whole hideous mess goes inside like this. And maybe the wire, because you do have to have like the microphone up somewhere. It would kind of like maybe feed through the shirt or be poke hole in my shirt or whatever.
It was the night of July 15th, 2000. Mike Hansen and I were about to attempt the first ever successful infiltration of the Bohemian Grove. Others have tried and failed. No one has ever actually made it in and out with video evidence. After careful planning, we decided the best tactic would be to insert ourselves about a half mile from the main entrance into the heavily wooded area, entering the gorge by stealth and getting into the main parking area. From there, we posed as Bohemian Club members, thus entering the inner sanctums of the New World Order. Just like that. No, I got it, hon. It's just right on. Okay, here we go. That's good. Yeah, that's good now.
You be careful, baby.
Okay.
I want you to go. You be careful, baby.
Be safe. Don't worry about it, guys. Come on.
O'clock, 11:30, 12.
Yeah. Should I wear my sunglasses?
Let's
go lose them.
Here we go left. Be careful, Mike. God bless.
Yeah, pray for us. Keep the evil off of us.
Be careful.
Yeah, let go.
This is really giving Blair Witch vibes now.
So I said this is a found footage movie. We're watching a found footage movie.
Yeah.
like, so for like the queer stuff, I so want to go back into like the old internet and look at all like even the 2000 Tumblr era stuff I would look at, but like if we can like find like old usernets around queer stuff from like way back in the day, or even conspiracy theories and stuff like that would be good too. But that was the real. You do not understand the internet if you were not around back in the 90s on the internet. You just don't, because that was when it was the real Wild West. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted. There was no censorship. There was no social media. It was just people dicking around on websites and message boards and chat rooms, and
you had to have the actual address to find the thing. You had to have the URL, or you could not. You can just search it. There was no Google. There was no search engine. You had to have the actual stuff. People would pass it around like notes in high school with like the little address. Here, man. Here's the stuff, man. Go look it up.
Here's the stuff. Yeah. Man,
there's an archive site. Hex and Hammer talks about it all the time. There's an archival site that you can go to. Yeah. I don't remember what it might just be called, archives something. I don't know.
Oh, Internet Archives. Yeah. Then we're watching this on archive.org. This is on
okay. Well, there you go.
The archive site. Yeah.
Nice.
Walk on up here for a second. When's the next shuttle coming? Sorry, Mike. Come on. Where are you going? We're in. We talked to them. Well, we're inside the Bohemian Grove. We're actually not inside yet, Mike. Well, we're in the parking lot. That's pretty. Yeah.
Well, no, this reminds me of the hike to get into the Renaissance Festival.
The hike into the Renaissance Festival.
This reminds me. Yeah, it's like we got one in Larkspur, and like the parking lot is like, it's huge, it's enormous, and you have to hike from the parking lot like through all these woods and all this sound, like them shuffling through all the roughage and the stones. Same thing. Just reminds me of like trying to get into the fucking Renaissance Festival.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. That is completely unrelated to any of this. I have a quick story I wanted to tell you just because I think you'll appreciate it. And I forgot about it until now.
Okay.
And for some reason that jogged my memory. So real quick. So I ordered this America First black on black hat from Nick Fuentes months ago. Fucking months ago, and finally it came in. But like I got in a fight with the Groipers over the weekend, and we broke up, and it was very sad. But then I got but then I got the hat today, and it wasn't. They had already sent the hat, but it came after we got in the fight, and I just feel like you'll appreciate this, Jennifer. In addition to the hat, they sent me a handwritten thank you note.
Oh,
and they sent me an America First pin, but there was also a teeny tiny little black box with a tiny bow.
That is so precious.
And
you can make that a Christmas ornament.
Do you know what it is?
Please.
They sent me a Groper pin.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
I was like, fuck you assholes. I can't be mad at you now.
You got to pin that right onto like the lip of the hat.
Yeah, I do. It's like it's a pin of honor in the teeniest, tiniest little black box.
That little goth box, that needs to be a Christmas ornament in honor of the Groipers. That pin, yeah, put it on your little hat. That is so cute.
It was like I was very touched by that. I had to share it with you. I
didn't know they had pins. I want a pin.
Oh yeah, they've got America First pins too. They sent me an America First pin too. Yeah.
Oh, isn't that sweet? I know I want the froggy pin.
Yep. I don't know what I did to earn the Groper pin, but you know.
You're a maid woman now.
We can get back together, and I can continue to have 8,000 little brothers on the internet.
Just put your little froggy pin on your hat and just go, okay.
Okay.
You know, like peace offering.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to the movie, but I had to show you that.
That's precious.
There's the sequoia and Sierra.
Here comes the thing on.
And there's the coast redwood.
Yeah.
And then there's a Chinese redwood, and there's one or two of the Chinese redwoods somewhere in the grove.
I remember when I drove from Tulare and went up to Sequoia National Park, all they had up there was the sequoia.
Yeah. Aren't they the biggest? Oh, they are. They're the biggest like living thing, I think. Aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're incredibly large. There's one up there that you can drive a car on top of one. You know,
on top of it,
yeah,
lying down.
Yeah. That you can actually.
Well, they used to have the one you could drive through.
That's also there. That's up there. Boy, it's nice when that cool wind hits you.
Oh yeah.
Make me late, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. How much did the rope cost?
This thing?
No, the rope.
The rope?
The rope. The rope.
Oh, that.
Oh, rope.
Oh, rope. It was 88. Yeah, I thought you said rope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought rope and rope. Can't hear anything was wind. Some years, pretty nice.
Yeah.
This is the oldest one, isn't it? Yeah. Other than maybe that little red one. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I think when you go to heaven, they have buses like this. Thank you. Oh, yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, is there another one coming? Yeah.
Oh, good. Hey, how are you? Good.
Good.
See you.
Your brother. Your father visited and all that?
Yeah.
So that Marty thing was like.
We don't have time.
There is actually a found footage movie about like a situation like this. I think it's called The Order or something like that. And it's like watching this, I'm like having flashbacks to that movie. I've only seen it once. Hang on, let me see if I can chat GPT. What is this? What is the found footage movie?
There's one called The Ritual.
It might be The Ritual, about the rich people cult. I love ChatGPT so much. It'll know too. The Invitation or this. Okay, so there's a bunch of them. The Invitation, The Sacrament. I've seen both of those. I think The Sacrament is the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, this is like definitely giving like 80s found footage vibes.
Yeah,
or 90s found footage vibes.
It's so great. I love it so much. Could I ever infiltrate? No, I would never do that. No. Like there's certain amounts of things that I'll dabble in, but like I'm not going anywhere near this occult bullshit. I'm not going anywhere near the world's most powerful leaders. I know people like I have no desire to be involved in any of this because it won't end well for me if I am. And so no, I'm staying safely back here. Just I'll go to a socialist event every now and again.
Yeah, this is really just the good old boys camping trip. It's like the good old Boy Scouts. The stuff that where they really get the goody goods on you starts here, but if they get you into their like pedophile cults, that's where they really start getting the digs on people.
Yeah, I would end up getting sacrificed or something like that, or worse, I'd have very powerful people hate me. No, I'm not. No.
Well, and if I remember correctly, I think Alex Jones actually like outs himself a little bit. Like I think he starts walking around to the politicians going, "Hey, we're going to sacrifice some kids tonight, right?" Like he just fucking does the thing.
An idiot. Why would you do that? Why?
Because he's Alex Jones and he doesn't his brain cells go hard. Like sometimes he's really good at what he does and sometimes it's like, "No, stop it. Oh, why? This is why people think you are insane."
Yeah, just let it play out. Just let it get the footage. Don't fuck it up, Alex. What the fuck? Shut up.
Yes.
I'm the documentary to show you an entire tour of the 2,700-acre compound in the middle of the gorge. Besides the fact we didn't even have time to...
No, I would absolutely... If I was in a horror movie, I would either be the first person to die or I would be the last person to survive. It would be one of the two. There would be no in between.
Are you sure you wouldn't be the twist at the end, the one who actually did the killing?
That is also an option. I could definitely be the twist at the end, and I was actually the secret axe murderer the whole time. That's probably what would happen. That's probably right. Yeah. Jennifer. Okay, fine.
I know you. I see you.
Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
See, but about 20% of it in between dodging security personnel. Unfortunately, we were using digital tapes that were 1 hour. Several of the confrontations were not caught on tape. We had sheriff's deputies, Secret Service, you name it, question us on who we were. We just told them we were with the hillbillies. That's where the bushes stay, because we've got Texas accents.
Close back in the corner right over there.
Oh, there they are. How's it going? Good.
Oh, this was good. Oh.
watching it Ewoks view.
Here's just one of many signs sporting French with skulls adorned with other trappings of death. We also saw signage with Latin and other ancient languages. Now we're about to let you see a little bit of what's going on with the great owl.
The great owl.
What's the owl? I'm getting bold. This is the owl. I'm getting this, Alex.
Hey, you might want to point the camera at it, though.
Yeah,
point the camera at it. What the fuck? I'm getting it. No, you're not.
Here you can see the bottom of the stone owl with the altar and the eternal flame, a Aladdin lamp style urn that continually burns year-round, we're told. And here's a side shot from about 30 yards away of Moloch, the Canaanite deity to which children were sacrificed to in Babylon. And yet another slowed down close shot. Again, the eternal flame burning, the altar, the bottom extremities of the 40-plus-foot stone deity.
Okay.
And there is a shot of its head as well. Again, we've slowed down this video because we only actually had about 5 seconds of it on our hidden cameras, so you can have a chance to get a closer look at it. You will see it during the ceremony. Speaking of the ceremony, we were on the left-hand side of the lake about 150 yards downstream beneath those large redwood trees. Much of the ritual you're going to witness took place on the right-hand side of the lake and at the northern tip beneath Moloch. Keep in mind the scale of the idol compared to those giant redwood trees. It's at least 45 feet tall. Now, the daytime vantage you're witnessing is basically the vantage that we shot the ceremony from at night. This is America, and it's been going on for 120-plus years in Northern California. This is not some new fad. We're talking about something deadly serious with its roots in ancient history.
All right, you want to hear it?
Yes.
Oh, wait, hang on. So, first of all, it is not an owl, but thank you, Alex. Moloch is one of the... It's one of those, like, goat horn gods with the...
Okay.
Yeah, he's a goat god. Remember when we did all that thing about Satan, like all the things that went into what Satan looks like?
Yeah.
He's like a goat god with curvy horns. He's not an owl, but okay. Moloch is a deity in ancient Canaanite and Phoenician religion is primarily associated with child sacrifice, though some scholars debate whether it refers to a specific deity or a specific sacrifice.
Oh, it's Baphomet? Is it the same as Baphomet?
No, it is not the Baphomet. But it's like I think his imagery is part of what went into the Baphomet, but it's not the Baphomet.
Oh.
In the Hebrew Bible, Moloch is depicted negatively, with the Israelites condemned for offering sacrifices. The worship of Moloch is strongly linked to child sacrifice, with rituals involving laying children on outstretched hands, leading to their death in a fire below. Some scholars believe that Moloch refers to a specific deity, while others suggest it might be a term for the type of sacrifice rather than a god. Connections also to other Semitic deities like Baal, North African traditions like Cronus, and also Cronus in Greek mythology. And then Moloch is a word that appears in the Hebrew Bible several times, primarily in the book of Leviticus. The Greek Septuagint translates many of these instances as their king, but maintains the word or name Moloch in others, including one additional time in the book of Amos where the Hebrew text does not attest the name. The Bible strongly condemns practices that are associated with Moloch, which are heavily implied to include child sacrifice. So Moloch seems to be now in this depiction, he looks like a lion god with no horns. It actually looks like a cat face.
Okay.
So it looks like it's sort of up in the air a bit as to what Moloch was, but definitely is not an owl. This could be like a ram face, I suppose, with his horns under a hat. Maybe the horns are coming down instead of going up. I suppose the picture that I'm looking at anyway. But yeah, so then there's I was looking at ChatGPT. You'd be so proud. And then, now I'm looking at Wikipedia. So
that's not so good. Yay for ChatGPT. Boo
it's just
for Wikipedia.
as crowdsourced. Anyway,
well, not exactly, but okay, fine. Whatever. Progress. You looked at ChatGPT once. Progress. Okay, good.
Anyway.
You're
welcome.
Thank you.
Hansen had the bright idea of going into one of the camps, which is one of the few mistakes he made. Not that we both didn't make a few. Oh, and my mistake? I just forgot my fake name.
You gotta have an easy to remember fake name.
Like Alex. Oh wait, that's his real name. But who would even fucking know?
I mean,
like,
back then,
honestly.
yeah, exactly. Whatever.
We may have to.
Do they have the camera on a raccoon or something?
Apparently, yeah.
What the fuck? Thanks for all the butts. Good dick.
Reagan was a turning point for us. Didn't realize at the time it was. And anytime we shoot turning point for us. Oh, really? So many liberal Democrats
It was all live.
No, it's probably as accurate as we know. Yeah.
looks nice.
We had already been questioned 3 separate times by the Bohemian Club Security, Secret Service, and Sonoma County Sheriff's Department. To evade discovery, we decided to try for one of the more remote areas of the camp, according to our map, the most southerly side, and a lookout point, an observation deck over the Russian River. While Mike Hansen was watching for the sheriff's deputies that were down the path and over the bridge in a guard shack, I began to shoot the video you just witnessed. After we turned the camera off, one of the Sonoma County Sheriff's deputies showed up and began asking us why we were filming. We calmly told him we were just sightseeing as members of the Bohemian Club. The point that has to be made here, though, is they do have hidden cameras, because there's no way that they would have been able to witness us videotaping from where the guard shack was located. And then upon walking back by the guard shack, we actually witnessed banks of television screens and wires leading up into the Redwoods and disappearing. Also visible from the observation deck is the famous sunning area for the establishment lackeys and their punks. Here you can see some of the fine carpeting out on the floaty. The long history of men enjoying themselves has even been written about in the gossip column of the San Francisco Chronicle.
Oh no, men enjoying themselves,
writing that
Jennifer.
a man on his own often gets invited back to the camp by gay bohemians.
Yeah,
even 100-year-old annals have admitted the homosexual activities. After escaping the sheriff's department, Mike and I traveled high into the hills to wait until dark and the beginning of the Cremation of Care ceremony.
Yo! Yeah, Last House on the Left. Creep Show! Yeah, let's go back to Last House on the Left in a second. Creep Show, I fucking love Creep Show. And I know exactly what you're talking about too, with the blob in the middle of the lake where they all come out and they all skinny dip in the middle of the lake and they leave the music playing on their car and they all swim out to the raft and they get surrounded by the blob and then blob eats them.
There's no rest for dumb, naive, naked, horny teenagers.
No. And then what were we talking about? What was the other one that was mentioned?
The one right before it.
Last House on the Left. Yeah, that was very Last House on the Left. Last House on the Left is a very...
That's a rough one.
It's a rough one.
Yeah.
And the remake is actually rougher than the original, I think.
I saw both, and both made me go, ugh. Yeah.
Well, I made Victor watch both back to back.
Ooh.
And like, but it was funny because I think we watched the remake first, and I was like, let's go back and watch the original just for shits and giggles. And the original has clown car music all through it. And it was actually very distracting because like the remake is it's a fairly good remake, but it's like very, very serious. There's no joking or anything like that. It's like a very serious movie about all sorts of crimes. And so, but we went back and watched the original. Whenever the police are driving around, there's clown car music and it's just like so distracting. It's like, what the fuck am I even watching?
It's like that juxtaposition of whimsical and horror that they tried to put in there, that I think because they couldn't do necessarily what they wanted to do, so they tried to make it creepy with the music being off.
Yeah. But I prefer the remake for that reason, because I was like, I cannot ever get over this clown car.
That shit was intense. That remake had me balled up just because of the subject matter. That shit was intense.
Yeah, it's a very good movie, but it's a hard movie to watch. Like you have to be like into this sort of thing. I'm really into
trigger warnings.
Yeah, trigger warnings. I'm into horror movies and gory shit, so. How I trained to be able to watch Socialism for several hours a day for the rest of my life is I spent my entire childhood, starting when I was 8 years old, watching R-rated horror movies. Yes, my parents let me watch R-rated horror movies when I was 8 years old, and this is the person that I have become.
I got duped into it by a friend of mine who made fun of me because I was too scared to watch any horror movies. So he started bringing over horror movies and made me watch them. And then he like abducted me and made me go to haunted houses every Halloween until I started getting into it. But he took me to some, and I specifically asked him not to take me. I said, this one thing I don't want to see. Don't take me to any haunted houses that have this one thing in it. And no, clowns. Amateur. No, I'm sorry, Carlin. That's your thing. No, it's it was the alien.
The alien.
The alien, not
the alien, like the movie Alien. Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to see that because that was the one thing that like it took me years. I actually purposefully desensitized myself to those movies so I could watch them because I was so fascinated by them. And now I love them. I'm addicted. I could watch them in the dark. I don't even care. But that at the time I could only watch them with the sound down, all the lights on in the house and the radio playing. And so I told him not that one. So what does it fucking take me to? We walk into a place with barrels with lids on them and chains hanging. And I was like, I have vibes. I don't like the vibes. He's like, it'll be fun. He honestly didn't know that these people in the alien costumes popped out of the barrels. I screamed and I ran through 3 fucking rooms before somebody finally caught me and got me to breathe because I was so scared. And I never forgave him for that.
Was this like a pop-up haunted house that just some people put together, or was this like an official like? Because like back in the day it was different. Back in the day, people literally just took over an old house and put up a haunted house. At least that's what they did around me.
This was an open space on Golden Mountain that they rented specifically to make this terror place, and they had put a bunch of trailers up, and there was like this old sort of building, just like a warehouse, and then they put trailers around it, and they and so they leased it just to make a haunted house, like you say, a pop-up for just for the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that one, oh, that was such a good one. And that one had the first VR I ever saw too, where they had us sit in chairs and they put big goggles on us to kind of see really shitty rendered 3D reality. It was after the alien scare, I pretty much went, I can take anything. And then I got into horror. And he was like, well, I'm sorry that happened, but look at you today. Look how tough you are.
Watch Last House on the Left all on your own, and it's going to be fine.
Yep.
God, the scariest haunted house I was ever in, it was in a haunted house that my father took me and my brother to when, I maybe was like, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12 years old, somewhere in that like middle school age range. And it was just one of these pop-up haunted houses that some people had taken over, and there was like no regulation on any of this stuff, and they just put together a haunted house, and it was the scariest fucking thing I've ever. It had like real people jumping out at you. They had like big. I'm sure they weren't chainsaws, but in my 11-year-old,
they don't have the chain on them, but it had the motor.
Yeah, and it sounds like a chainsaw, and like and like what, and there was the guy that was following us with a chainsaw, like in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then the last room was in the basement. And there were leaves all over the floor, and you're just kind of like standing around. And then all of a sudden, people start coming up with the leaves, and they start running at you and yelling at you. And then the guy with the chainsaw comes, and you can hear the chainsaw coming. And then you have to run out the stairs up onto the lawn. And it was just like, holy fucking shit. And I still remember this to this day of standing on that floor with all the leaves, screaming. And then my father fucking grabs me and drags me up the stairs.
This one had it had the chainsaw guy, so it didn't have a chain in the saw, but he was like,
yeah.
And then it had a dude with I want to say it was like a cricket bat or a big long paddle, and he was black. He was dressed all in black. You could not see this guy. He would just disappear. And there were several of them because they would follow groups because they let you in groups, and he would just follow groups. And all of a sudden you'd hear bat, and you'd look, and there's this guy standing, and and he's like bap, and he hit something else, and then he'd just disappear into the shadows, and you're running. And then all of a sudden he'd show up again. And he was the one who got you out of the haunted house if you were lingering. He would come chase you. And yeah, no.
They don't do haunted houses like that anymore.
We do. Here in Colorado, they have a huge business. There are people who work on haunted houses all year round. Like that's their full-time job.
Really?
And they pop them up just for the 6 weeks around October. It's huge out here. Oh, yeah. And they're big, too. Really big. They'll rent out old malls and shit. Oh, yeah.
That would be cool to go to a haunted mall.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That would be amazing.
That's a big one. Just give me an ice cream break in the middle. Let me have a moment to kind of, let me get some Rocky Road.
You can do a different adventure in each of the stores.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. They didn't only do part of it. They didn't do the whole thing. It was like the JC Penney's or something.
Yeah, that would be cool. A haunted mall.
Yeah, yeah.
With zombies walking
Fuck
around,
yeah.
Like Day of the Dead.
Living Dead. Woo!
Yeah.
Before the cremation of care, all the Bohemian Club members began a massive feast of revelry.
He's so pissed off.
After the feast, cult members travel from the main dining area under the trees out to the eastern side of the lake, where they congregate and prepare themselves to properly thank their deity. Again, the 3,000-plus-year-old Moloch.
Moloch, a Semitic deity mentioned in the Bible, whose worship was marked by the sacrifice of burning of children offered by their own parents. 2, anything conceived as requiring frightful sacrifice.
Sounds like the precursor to Krampus. Like we have kids that are really sucky and bad, you would sacrifice them to Moloch, maybe. Semitic means a Jewish deity, right?
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that on the internet, Jennifer. We don't.
Well, yeah, but I thought they only were monotheistic. I thought they didn't have any other deities.
I don't know the ins and outs of the Jewish religion. You'll have to refer to the Jews. And as you know, we are not anti-Semitic on this channel. And if there are any Jews in the chat, you can feel free to
not
speak up.
Not anti-Semitic, just asking about spirituality. That's what we do, Carlin. Calm down.
Everything's anti-Semitic now, Jennifer. Everything is fucking anti-Semitic. I can't even breathe without someone saying, Carolyn loves Hitler. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking? Sir, I watch socialism on the internet.
Oh my God.
It's so dumb.
Really?
America first is anti-Semitic. Christ is king is
anti-Semitic.
That's
James Lindsay talking.
And we were reliably told by a rabbi just the other day that it is not enough to be like anti-Semitism. You have to be like, wait, it is not enough to hang on. It is not enough to not be an anti-Semite. You have to be anti-Semite.
That's a double negative. That means you're actually anti-Semitic.
I don't think that really matters. The point is that you are inherently anti-Semitic, and if you don't proactively do whatever any Jew tells you to do and never question them and give all your money to Israel, then you are only proving your anti-Semitism. And if you ever say, I don't think I'm an anti-Semite because I don't hate Jewish people, they're going to say that is proof of your inherent anti-Semitism.
This sounds exactly like the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah.
This sounds awfully familiar. Hey, but I have black friends. I have Jewish friends. It doesn't matter.
No. In fact, you're more anti-Semitic for saying you have Jewish friends and that you like bagels.
Now you're making an example of their color or their religion, and how dare you?
Tokenizing doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They're a Jew that has internalized anti-Semitism if they're your friend because you are an obvious anti-Semite.
Do they have remember how they would call the black ones that were against BLM? They were and all that stuff that was coming up. They were Uncle Tom's. What's the Jewish version? Surely they've got one by now.
It's that you are an internalized anti-Semite. I swear to God.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God. It's like Jewish Voices for Peace, like these left-wing Jews that are completely against what Israel's doing in Gaza. They have internalized anti-Semitism, and that's why they don't like Israel.
They hate themselves.
And in fact, there was even an article, I think, in the Jerusalem Post saying that if you don't support everything Israel does, then you are not a real Jew. Swear to God, that's actually real. I'm not making that up. Yeah.
See, that just makes me so irritated. Why can't people just have their own opinions and everybody else just, mind your business?
Is literally anyone calling for a fucking genocide? No. No one is calling for a genocide. No one is forming an army. The Groipers aren't taking over the fucking internet. There's no Nazi insurrection happening.
Aww.
Everyone calm the fuck down.
Maybe the Groipers could take over the internet, but somebody would have to make them breakfast and then tuck them in at night. All the things.
It's true.
They still need a mama. Yeah.
They
oh, sweeties.
Desperately. Yeah. Darlings.
The occult activities are coming up. And then after the actual ritual, we're going to give you some more of the history surrounding it. But first off, I wanted to draw your attention to the program that was given out to the spectators or the viewers. I guess an occultist would call them novices.
Jennifer, have you ever created a program when you're doing some sort of witchy ritual? Like a program, like a physical, here is what we're going to be doing in our ceremony today. like a pamphlet?
Once. Okay, I wonder if I have one nearby. Hang on. I don't know if I have any nearby. I may not. They're probably put away.
Welcome to our ritual. Here is our order of whatever. Oh, look, that's actually a pretty pamphlet. Look, it's got drawing on it. That's very nice.
Because I have my camera reversed. It says program for the wedding of Michael Dozier and Jennifer Omar.
Oh, it's a wedding. It's
September
different.
2nd, 2016. This talks about all of the things we do in the ritual because I had a lot of muggles there, including my Italian Catholic family. So I talked about all the symbolism, what the cord colors meant, what tying the cord meant, hand fasting, all the meaning behind our music, and I even had some trivia because I love trivia about what different types of like why we have different things in wedding ceremonies. Why is there a maid of honor? Why is there a best man? I had all wedding trivia and stuff in here, and then I walked everybody through the ceremony so that everyone would be comfortable and understand what they were seeing. Because we called the corners, we did the whole thing, we did the whole circle blessing. We had the cakes and wine at the entire pagan ritual hand fasting ceremony. So that was the one time I did a program, yes.
But that's just considerate because that was like a mixed attendance audience. People didn't know that was like a nice thing to do. I'm talking about like you're hanging out with a bunch of witches and you go, here's what we're doing tonight. Here's
if you don't fucking know what a ritual is and you're a witch, then you're a novice and you're about to learn. Welcome to it. We're putting you right in.
See, so this makes me think that they're not actually doing anything of significance. They're just fucking around in the woods and they're being men and they're like built I mean, what man doesn't want, I guess, a huge stone carved idol or doing some fire sacrifice or something like that. Men love setting fire to things.
Just makes you feel very special. You're part of the club. It's the Dick Handshake Club. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And maybe some sex. They do have women in these ceremonies, but they're not attendees per se.
Oh, gotcha.
Actually watched as the priest and their supporters engaged in this ancient rite. Now you're looking at a little demon called PJ that was on the front of the actual program. It's kind of in a Hieronymus Bosch style. He's got a little broom and a dustpan, and he's sweeping something up.
What is
even
that?
more shocking is...
What was that?
He looks kind of like your little characters that you use in some of your stuff.
He does
look
look
like
his
little feet are.
Yep.
He's
what
the
does
cleaning.
He actually do?
He has a broom and he's cleaning up. He's a little cleaning devil.
Brooms aren't bad.
No, they are a symbol of witches, but and also being clean, which apparently Alex Jones is very mad at. I don't know why.
Program. It's kind of in a Hieronymus Bosch style. He's got a little broom and a dustpan, and he's sweeping something up. Now, even more shocking is the figure of a human body burning in the flames. In fact, I've shown it to people that are experts in anatomy, to actual doctors, and they say that the anatomical size is that of a baby or small child. Notice how large the cranium is in comparison to the torso, that is the ribs. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is from the program itself given out to the establishment lackeys witnessing these sinister activities. Remember, in Babylon and Tyre, they would throw their children into fiery pits. Look at the size of the hands compared to the rest of the body. Only children show these anatomical details. Now, of course, it's been airbrushed in, but it shows the psychology of those conducting these criminal activities. Now, this is the only skull we actually caught on tape. We've blown it up for you over one of the major meeting houses. Of course, it's not a real skull. It was extremely oversized up on the signage. The point we're trying to make here is the entire compound was literally infested with symbols of death, skulls, owls, you name it. At long last, here it is, the Cremation of Care unveiled.
Here it is, the big moment.
Let me get your
As we sat there in the darkness, not knowing what we were about to see in the gathering crowd, suddenly, across the small lake, we saw a carriage with men in black and brown cloaks, robes, in front and in back, bearing a bound body. Now we're about to show you the raw footage. You can see the torches coming out of the woods on the other side of the lake. We're going to show you the whole ceremony without video enhancement. Later, we're going to blow it up for you. Remember, it was a hidden camera and at somewhat of an angle.
The bagpipes again.
I don't like the bagpipes.
Nope, part is it not?
This is not real. Come on.
Something particularly pleasing was happening for the Bohemian Grovers.
Yeah, Alex
with whatever
Jones
developed
never stops.
with-
Yeah.
He never stops being dramatic. Like, whatever the fuck these people are doing, is it above board? Nah. Is it sketch? Uh-huh. But is Alex Jones just going to milk this teat for everything it's got? Uh-huh.
It's annoying too, because it's like this isn't really that big of a deal. Like I'm not a witch or anything. I don't do any of this ritual stuff. And even I'm like looking at this, I'm like, nah, this is not fucking real. This is not satanic. This is LARPing is what this is. This is a bunch of men in the woods that want to fuck other men for the weekend. They're leaving their wives at home and they want to go play in the woods, and they're burning shit and doing something to make it seem like it's just a fun thing to do. But this is not satanic. This is not real. Am I wrong?
No, it just reminds me of a glorified Skull and Bones kind of stuff. So cute. Oh, you little cuties.
There are actually real rituals in the world. There are real people who do.
There are actual satanic practices that do happen, and Luciferian and stuff that people do in the names of these deities that are awful. This is like Diet Coke, pretty much.
Bill is an actual priest in the Church of Satan.
Oh,
Satanist. It's
Hey,
like,
Bill.
nah, it's not real, bro. It's not real.
Satanists are cool as hell. I like Satanists. They're very based people.
They're interesting. They can be a little much sometimes. Not Bill. Bill's awesome. But
We can all do extra. We've all done it.
That crowd of men in black and brown and the bound body on the back of the buggy. They drove behind big black tarps they had hanging out of the trees. There was lots of smacking on lips in bizarre enjoyment by the crowd. We still haven't made out exactly what was going on, but that a real sacrifice may have actually been developing according to some occult experts. All the time in the darkness across the small lake, the men in black were doing something behind the dark curtains hanging from the redwood trees. Then after about 10 more minutes of music, suddenly all around the owl activity began. Here is the main central part of the ritual.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. Lift up your heads, O ye trees, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting spires. For behold, here is Bohemian shrine, and holy are the pillars of this house.
I need a better gong.
song of birds, such music as inspires the sinking soul, do we invite you into midsummer's joy.
Oh,
Sky
nice.
above is blue, sown with stars. The forest floor is heaped with fragrant drift. Evening's cool kiss is yours. The campfires glow. The birth of rosy fingered dawn. Shake off your sorrows with the city's dust and cast to the winds the cares of life. Let memory bring back the well-loved names of gallant friends who knew and loved this grove. Dear boon companion.
Excuse me? No. You do not insult Jennifer on my channel. That is not ever going to happen. And if you do that again, we're going to ban you.
Wow, simping even. I got accused of simping.
Yes,
That's a
exactly.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Of the long ago. Aye. Let them join us in this vision. Not a place be empty in our midst. Oh, beauty's vassals, who hold in this gray autumn of the world her springtime in your heart, a 10-hour tale. Gather ye forest folk, and cast your spell over these mortals. Touch their world-blind eyes with fairy unction. Hope their eyes and follow the memories of yesterday and seal the gates of sorrow. It is a dream, and yet not all a dream. Dull care and all of his works are but a dream. As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. But the wilding rose blows on the broken battlements of Tyre, and walks rend the stones of Babylon. For beauty is eternal, and we bow to beauty everlasting. For lasting happiness, we turn to one alone, and she surrounds you now. Great nature, refuge of the weary heart, and only balm for breasts that have been bruised. We have cool hands for every favorite brow, and gentlest silence for the troubled soul. The counsels are most wise. She healeth well, having such ministries as calm and sleep. She is ever faithful. Other friends may fail, but seek ye her in any quiet place. Smiling, she will rise and give to you her kiss. So must become as children. Little children that believe nor ever doubt her beauty.
I totally agree, Bill. Yeah.
Nor deem her tenderness can change or die. Bohemians and priests, the desperate call of heavy heart is answered by the power of your fellowship. Dull care is slain. His body has been brought yonder from the funeral pyre, the joyous pipings of a funeral march. Our funeral pyre awaits the corpse of care.
There we go.
if they're actually doing anything.
I can't either.
Can I just say something?
Yeah. Don't say Wicker Man. You're gonna make Jennifer mad if you say Wicker Man. She doesn't like it. It triggered. Wicker Man is Jennifer's trigger.
I don't like the movie. It's dumb. Although I did see the bear scene that Nicolas Cage did, and it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Anyway,
he's a good actor.
Yeah, who doesn't love Nicolas Cage? God bless him.
Crazy. He's crazy, but that's why he's a good actor.
Yes, he's fabulous. Got to see the movie. I think it's called Valerie or something. It's the fucking best. It's Nick Cage at his height. It's perfect. Anyway, so this reminds me of people who get UFO footage. When there's like this little fuzzy thing in the back, and they're like, "Look, it's a UFO, Myrtle," and people are, we've got it over the cornfield, and it's just this horrible little.
Yep.
And I swear it's there. I swear we're gonna enhance it digitally later, and it still looks like crap. That's just what this reminds me of. Is like Alex Jones is sitting there like, "Look, something bad is happening. I'm sure of it. Watch." And I honestly haven't seen anybody move. I'm sure they've got some kind of ceremony going on that if you were closer to it, you might be able to see them doing some sort of pagan ritual, of some kind. Because this honestly reminds me of some of the shit that I saw at the campsite, the camping pagan ritual that I used to go to that was like 5 days long up in the mountains. And they would have rituals almost every day, sometimes several times a day. And yeah, not the bees. Exactly, Brian. That's the one. That's the scene. It's hysterical. But it just kind of, it looks so benign. But I mean, if it goes dark, I'm here for it, but it's not like we can tell. Yeah, and what's unfortunate is we're going to have to rely on Monsieur Paranoia, Alex Jones, to dictate, or to not dictate, but to tell us what's happening. And I'm more scared of that, honestly.
But it's like we know that whatever he's saying is hyperbolic. It's just like this is not again. It's like this is not fucking real. Like it's just not. Sorry. I
don't see what the big deal is, but maybe it'll get there. We've got plenty of time. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's watch.
Sure, we watch until the end.
It's like it's out night, and then
you have the boatman, his face is painted up like a skull, bringing the bound body across the water. Again, we'll have enhanced video of this later. And let's see if you can pick up all of the different occultic meanings in the speeches you're about to hear.
the shadowy tide, and all the ancient majesty of death. Those art enemy of beauty. Not for thee that has been the gift or the restful grave. Fire shall have its will of thee, and all the winds make merry with thy dust. Bring fire!
Come on! Come on! The music is what kills it! It's like you're playing music that like I would expect to hear in a Gladiator movie.
It's almost like a Disney ride.
It is. It's a Disney ride. That's exactly right.
Year after year, he burned me in this grove.
This is so ominous.
Lifting your fury shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again, he turned your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools to dream ye conquer care.
Hey, thou mocking spirit.
That's what I'm going to say every time someone questions me online from now on. I'm going to go, fools!
You fool! Did you ever see that Hollywood Squares with Gilbert Gottfried? Every time someone picked him, he'd be like, you fool! And it was just the most hysterical thing ever. It needed to hit the lexicon a little harder. I agree. You should call them fools.
We need to bring it back. Maybe I should just make a t-shirt and all it says on it is fools!
Fools!
It is not all a dream. We know thou waitest for us. When this our sylvan holiday has ended, we shall meet thee and fight thee as of old, and some of us prevail against thee, and some thou shalt destroy. But this too we know. Year after year within this happy grove, our fellowship bans thee for a space.
You're right, I do need a sound.
Thy malevolence, which would pursue us here, has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free.
Ye shall burn me once again! Now but leave sway, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign.
Okay, hang on.
Fools and priests, I spit upon.
This is a haunted house.
Okay, so this is pageantry. So
this is a haunted house. Go ahead,
yeah.
sorry.
When in some of the rituals that I have officiated and participated in some of my pagan past and present, is like you would, for instance, when say, okay, let me see if I can explain this simplistically without getting lost in the sauce. During the, say, winter solstice, the holly god dies and the horn god rises. And on the summer solstice, the horn god dies and the holly god rises. So they changed positions because one is a god of harvest and sex and procreation, and sex and procreation. The other is a god of harvest and diminishment. So the holly god is kind of part of where Santa Claus comes from. Anyway, so during some of the rituals to celebrate these particular points in the year, you could actually have men dressed up as the holly king and the horn god, and one would slay the other. They would enact a battle, one would slay the other. Thus, there's the turning of the wheel. So that's something that is, and that's pageantry. That's what this reminds me. It sounds like I don't know when this is happening, like if it's during a solstice or what time of year, if this is actually hitting a pagan festival, or if they're just like a bunch of white guys trying to make shit up because they used to have druids in their lineage one time, but they don't really know what they're doing. They're just making it up, or what. But that's what this reminds me of. They're reenacting some sort of play of one deity is overcoming another deity, because that's exactly what the dialogue is saying.
Cool.
July 15th, Reagan, did it? Okay, so that's not hitting any pagan holiday, because I think solstice is around June 21st, 22nd-ish on the program. Wow, damn, girl, you do pay attention. We love Reagan.
Reagan spots every detail.
She's fucking on it. Nice.
On your fire.
Wow. Great son of all mortal wisdom, owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Now we're singing opera? What's Jennifer getting? What's happening? What do you have?
One flame was mighty
This is so weird. They need a spotlight like that. I keep saying the same thing too, John. This is fucking musical theater. There needs to be a spotlight. There needs to be a smoke machine coming out from behind. Possibly some lasers flying around. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, can I just introduce you to my friend?
Yes.
This is Rupert Pupkin.
Rupert Pupkin.
Rupert, this is my
It's a
Rupert.
dog toy.
He is a dragon. Thank you very much. He has little wingies and his little tail.
Wow.
He was hand crocheted by a lady in my church, because he was just this, like from this up, and she put little scales on him and he has a little belly. Of course, it's under his little. I remember those little teddy bear shirts you could buy.
Yeah.
So she crocheted his little belly, and she asked me to draw a picture of him, like what I thought his body would look like. And she crocheted, so he's got little arms and little hands, little fingers.
Wow.
He has Velcro I put on his fingers so he could hold things. He could put his little hands together. So Rupert was a gift from my folks, because I was an only child and I was creative. I had to occupy myself. It was the fucking 80s, okay, people? It was the late 70s, 80s. I had to do stuff. So Rupert, I would bring him with me, and he would lip sync. So you know the Great American Road Trip?
Mm-hmm.
So I would be in the back, my parents would be in the front, we're driving. and then a song would come on, and I would put Rupert on, and he would pop up between my parents.
Wow.
And we would start lip syncing, and they. So and he comes with me everywhere. He has been to Europe. He has been on cruises. He is my buddy. I love Rupert.
That's a nice
And
story.
I have not brought him out in a very, very long stretch of years. So you're welcome. This is my little Rupe.
His internet debut.
Yep, his internet debut. He's a sweetie. He's very good at lip syncing. I even used him in science class to demonstrate the articulation capabilities of the human hand, and I got an A on my project.
There you go. All right, Rupert, it's nice to meet you.
Good one. Love my Rupe.
Now, Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration. Shall have its will of thee. Begone, old care, and all the winds make merry with thy doubts. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
Oh, they are saying it's a midsummer thing. Oh, hey. Set a virgin on fire. Do something interesting. God damn it.
Yeah, set something on fire, please.
Sounds like the Oompa Loompa song. They're summoning the Oompa Loompas. Oh, I see this is the whole audience watching the ritual. I couldn't see because it was dark earlier. You see them?
Why are there sparklers everywhere?
Because it is a show.
This is you know what this reminds me of is Las Vegas with the fountains.
Yes, or Disney with the fireworks. Yeah, it's the same. It's a show.
And they play that same music in Las Vegas with the fountains going off too. If you've never been there,
Bellagio.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we need to get the soundtrack to Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, this is not satanic. This is not satanic at all.
He's not wrong. You're not wrong, Altherion. Sorry, you're not wrong. I would have thought it was too.
Southbot says, I missed most of the stream. What was the most fucked up part? The most fucked up part is that this is a giant fucking LARP, and this is not real. This is not a cult. This is not satanic. This is a bunch of rich, white, probably men, running around the woods, naked, fucking each other on the weekends, and just LARPing.
No, we haven't gotten to that part. They're all watching the show right now. We haven't gotten to the woods fucking yet. Maybe that'll happen later. How much time do we have left on this?
But this is like this is musical theater. We have 20 minutes.
They're watching a show.
Yeah.
Solstice style, like white.
This is Broadway.
White East Coast solstice pagan, like faux pagan.
It's literally faking gay.
All right, Lizard, you win.
I'm thinking about writing an introduction for the Alice in Wonderland thing, and the title I have for it in my head is "Everything is Fake and Gay."
Everything is fake and gay. You know,
Yep.
there's a song in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably true. You got to write a song about everything being fake. Maybe I'll write a song about that tonight. Be like, ChatGPT, can you write me a song about everything being fake and gay?
Remember when everybody in the community was writing like fucking the AI music? Like that was the thing. Now
we can do that again.
Okay.
I still have Suno. We can still make AI music.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I'm gonna write a song tonight about that. Alex Jones is fake and gay.
No, don't insult Alex.
Okay. Bless
He's
his heart.
a good guy.
Bless his heart
with
bless
love.
his heart with love. All that stuff. Yeah, fine.
He's
whatever.
trying. He's a
doing
little
his best.
extra. He's a little extra. It's okay. Seriously. Loompa, loompa, dippity drum. Oh, I hear. Okay.
This is like a Tom and Jerry when the mouse is trying to sneak away and it's about to attack. Oh.
Ooh, thunder.
Oh! The light! Fireworks!
Sit down! Gotta hear people do that.
Yeah, sit down, asshole!
I don't want to see your butt.
What do you think you are?
Down. I wonder how many of these black guys tried at the comic cookies and fake sales. Had to have fun this.
This is actually getting exciting now. I'm enjoying this. If I was there, I'd be like, yeah! I would love seeing this in person.
Not the William
Why is the camera pointing at the ground? What is happening?
He's trying to show the crowd. No, what is this? It's not the William Tell episode. It's like the Sugar Plum Fairy. Rubble, rubble, rubble.
This is dinner.
Now
theater.
we're going to get to some enhanced
Yes,
video.
Daphne, there are pictures
And we'll
of
go
Obama
play
here
by
before
play
he
from
was
some
elected.
of the more occultic statements, like we shall read the sign in your burned effigy, the bound body. That's exactly what the Druids actually did. They would roast cats, goats, oxen, horses, and watch the pain of how they died. And from this, extract some type of mystical energy force or power, and also be able to tell the future.
All of Bohemia, we beseech the Transvestite Council.
No. Bad Alex.
Upon further research of the ritual you just witnessed, it becomes clear. It is a mixture of the Babylonian Canaanite cult of Moloch fused with ancient...
We're watching the ancient Canaanite cult of Moloch. There was a fireworks show.
With the fucking Sugar Plum Fairy.
With the Sugar Plum. He played the William Tell Richard. Holy shit, Alex Jones. Listen to this, Jennifer.
I don't wanna.
Beseech the Transvestite Council.
Upon further research of the ritual you just witnessed, it becomes clear. It is a mixture of the Babylonian Canaanite cult of Moloch fused with ancient Druidic rites where you have the female side of Satan, which they first call out to in the
female
she,
side of
and then towards the horn god with the he, mixed with Masonic rites from Scotland. It's very likely that many of the 1,500 to 2,000 member crowd had really no idea what they were actually watching because it was thinly veiled. Here we have some more enhanced video as the boatman again with.
We found the Gnostic sex cult. We found it. We found the Gnostic sex cult James Lindsay was looking for all along.
I have never wanted to choke myself out so bad.
This is so fucking funny. I'm so glad we watched this.
Oh my god.
His face painted up like a skull, pulls his boat across the small lake towards the high priest with the red of his cloak
just ran
visible
out of the
with
room
his
because they thought I
hand
was angry.
outstretched as if he is pulling the damned soul towards him as they throw off their cares, their conscience for what they have to do in the world. Also, you have the arrangement of the circle of higher level priests around him, the high priest in lighter colors, and then the outer rings of red, and then those in black. This is consistent with the darker workings of the occult, not just with the Western countries, but also worldwide.
He goes in the dark.
Now, when you see that black edge coming to the field, that's because we zoomed in on the video, and many times the picture was almost out of the screen, so that's the edge of the field for the view of the camera.
Poor Fred. Cover your eyes.
An ancient druidic ritual typically has an overture. It's like in Gone with the Wind when you had the interlude in between.
Yes.
It's like.
Oh my god.
Movies used to have intermission, and they would play the overture during the like the Ten Commandments. That's a long ass movie. Has an intermission.
I think they need to bring that shit back. There are some long ass Marvel movies that could really benefit from at least a 15-minute intermission, so we can go have a fucking pee without missing the action.
Yeah, that would actually be a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll get back to more enhanced video of the ritual here in just a minute. But remember PJ, the little demon down in the corner, the left-hand corner of the program, sweeping up the ashes with little horns? And how can you forget this? The image of a human body burning on the altar. Again, this is what they were handing out to those that were witnessing these macabre activities. But again, from Babylon...
drawing. I don't even know what he's talking about.
That's not a human body.
It is not.
On into ancient England, the word bonfire, meaning human sacrifices being thrown into fiery pits, turned into today's bonfire.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
After the sacrifice, members...
Do you have something you want to say?
This is my voice. Bonfire? Alex!
Bonfire.
No.
Bonfire.
No. I'll give you know what, Alex? Your problem is you haven't had a proper bonfire in a while. Yeah. That's a problem. Fuck.
Oh, he can't hear you, Jennifer. This was 25 years ago. He can't.
God damn it. Time isn't real. He can hear me fine.
Time isn't real. Well, he can. You can hit him with your energy real hard right now if you want. He'd feel something.
Bonfire, you ass.
He wouldn't know what the fuck he's feeling, but.
With love, I love Alex Jones, but this kind of shit just makes me insane when people misinterpret. Bonfire is bonfire. Are you fucking serious? Honey, Alex, friend. Okay, listen. Look shit up. Look it up. And I know he does. He's usually much better with his research. This was inflammatory.
Young. Listen, he was young. He was young. He was still finding his way. Forgive him, Jennifer. It's okay. He owes over $1 billion today because he didn't do his fucking research. So
you know that's true. Okay, I get it now. I'm just gonna pet my comfort
He got his karma. Okay, Alex Jones got his karma good.
I'm just gonna pet my comfort skull.
All right, we got 15 more minutes.
So the cult would sweep up the ashes of the victim and use them in future rituals. One of the things that is extremely obvious by looking at the program handed out to Bohemian Club members is the person creating the program had a deep understanding of the occult. Here again, you have a little demon, PJ.
Just Judgmental Lizard asked for more cowbell.
Hang on, what was that?
Judgmental Lizard. I'm going through the chat. He's like,
cowbell.
more cowbell.
Yeah.
You have my undying appreciation, person. Absolutely.
That's a great idea.
We need more cowbell.
Time of revelance which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. You shall burn me once again! Now but leave flame, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire. Wow. Prince of all mortal wisdom, thou of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel. Midsummer sets us free.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, when you see that black edge coming in, that was the field from the camera. There you see the funeral pyre burning with the effigy of a human. Or it could be real, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, come
There's been a lot of strange going-ons in that area of Northern California. But this is what the establishment is into right here in America. The Cremation of Care. And this was July 15th, 2000.
Oh my God, Lizard, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Fucking yeah. Sorry, I know it's not the right.
These people are deadly serious.
You're throwing off
Those
my
taking
rhythm,
part
Jennifer.
in the ceremony.
These people are deadly serious with this little.
Yeah, this is like incredibly serious.
It's super serious. Oh boy. Lots of pot, lots of probably LSD.
Yeah, we're in Fantasia.
Yeah. Apparently the name of this damn song. Oh shit. It's getting real. Bullocks back.
Look, they've got sparklers all up and down the lake.
Pyro, baby. We need to like watch this for like a Led Zeppelin album.
I should have gotten high for this. This is fucking great.
Another point, the pyrotechnics you're seeing going off were being released from beneath little wrought iron crosses about 1.5 feet tall.
Oh, not the crosses.
Also, notice the screams of pain coming from the sacrifice.
Begone, dull care. Fire shall have its will of thee. Begone, dull care. And all the winds make merry with thy dust. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
One of the facets of the ritual that goes deeply into the occult, again, we've already mentioned the Druids at their bonfires or bonfires throwing bodies into fiery pits after ritually cutting their hearts out or slitting their throats.
Okay.
They talk about
I'm
reading the
I
sign in the burning effigy, reading the sign. Again, research your history books on the occult, even the Encyclopedia Britannica on what the Druids would engage in.
All right, I've got it.
This is just...
What do you have?
This is so irritating. I'm so irritated right now. The term bonfire originates from the Middle English bonfire. Fine. Everyone in the chat's like, it comes from bones. All right, fine. I'm looking it up. God damn it. Meaning a fire in which bones were burned, particularly in Celtic midsummer festivals where animal bones were burned to ward off evil spirits. Etymology of bonfire is a compound of bone and fire. Okay, fine. I was wrong. Alex Jones is right, and that really hurts me.
It's important to admit when we're wrong, but it's also just a stupid argument, and I don't care because this is not real, and this is dinner theater. And just because Alex Jones got that one thing right does not mean he didn't completely blow this out of proportion and misanalyze what's going on.
I think it was the context around the bonfire. Like he was trying to make it sound like a human sacrifice bone that made me go, No! But fine.
Well, it's understandable because every other thing is like they might be throwing bones into a fiery pit. It's like, no, they just fucking played the 1812 overture and set off fireworks. Like,
I'm gonna pat my comfort skull.
We're almost done.
Oh my god.
Unbelievably macabre and evil.
So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. You shall burn me once again.
You burn me once again, sir.
Not with me, flame.
Well, we're going to confront George Bush.
You survived!
On Bohemian Grove. George Bush Jr. have been announcing on CNN, MSNBC, on television last night and today, for the first time in history, they're admitting it, why the vice presidential decision was made at Bohemian Grove. George Bush Sr., the former president, and Golden Powell and others.
Well, that is legit.
So now they're just throwing it in everybody's face.
Well,
I
don't doubt that because it's like they're all in the same room. They're all there for the same show. They're all there for it's like, it's a fucking social club. It's a fraternity.
Yeah. And they're not in Congress having to play their sides. This is where the deals are struck, people. This is where the behind the room deals are struck.
And
they go get drunk, watch a festival. They might fuck in the woods with some prostitutes or something. And then they all go home and then they vote. Okay, that's what this is.
And by the way, this is not the only environment that shit happens like this stuff. And I'm not saying like there's always rituals in the woods and things like that, but like I think people know, right? Like deals get made in back rooms, at bars, at dinners, and at social clubs. Like all of these Ivy League schools have social clubs. Like the Harvard Club it's like this is not new information. This is just a different type of social club.
Yeah.
But it ain't a cult, and it ain't satanic, and it ain't witchcraft, and it's not human sacrifice. It's
not
just
fucking Gnostic.
It is a gentleman's club where they watch dinner theater.
Dinner theater.
The story over a week ago, July 15th, we were in Northern California. They're trying to ignore it. George Bush is down here at the governor's mansion across the street from the Capitol, about to announce Dick Cheney as his vice presidential running mate. We're going to go blow the party for him and get the information out to people. We're not going to stop. We're getting in their face. I want to make it clear that I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. But the facts speak for itself. George Bush Sr., Jr., even their grandfather, Prescott Bush, were all members of the Bohemian Club. So we dropped by to let them know that we're fully aware of their activities.
This is why you look crazy.
This is massive. This is how George Bush dresses up. Right here. We got him on tape. This is how they dress up. Right here. In red and black robes. A little more pointy, though, like the Klan. We got him on tape. This is how George Bush dresses. Right here when he's in the Bohemian Grove. This is how he dresses. We've already put it on television. Absolutely disgusting.
Who cares if he wears a little robe-y robe?
He's not for family values. He is nothing but a Luciferian twit. A Luciferian twit, Bush. You may think you can feed on the human population. We see it over here. We're on the march.
You call me a twit? I told you a twit.
How dare you? This is a dog. New world order. We stand firm. We stand strong for America against your evil, Bush. And we're going to get this story out, and we're going to continue to push it because the truth will not be hidden. That you are part of a 3,000-plus-year-old devil cult to the Al Moloch from Babylon as well as Tyre. We have the high priest admitting all this. We have it on videotape. It is documented. It is documented. A Luciferian
the entire debacle. Many of the Secret Service agents that they're in, no doubt, protecting these people
I was inside the Tower of Terror.
As we near the end of this film, it's important to understand that we did massive research on the occult. And one of the libraries we visited was that of Professor Tex Mars of Aeronautics. He also has written literally dozens of books on the occult. His library was very revealing about the obsession of elitists throughout history with the occult.
Front group after front group to conceal and really subvert. But behind all of these groups, there is a small cadre or elite, a core. And what you have done, I think, with the Bohemian Grove is you have exposed one of the premier organizations of the whole New World Order arrangement, you might say.
Of course,
we can go back in history,
hang on.
all the way back to ancient.
God.
That was a summer solstice pageant ritual.
Yeah.
Now, pageant ritual, as opposed to an actual ritual, is when it is shown to an audience. Again, pageantry, I mentioned that earlier. It's like a play. But an actual ritual is when the people take part in it. There's a big circle. Everybody's part of it. That's a ritual. They were not even taking part in a ritual. It was not, they were just watching a theater performance. That was it. And they're like, this is serious occult nonsense. And I'm like, well, I mean, certainly it's nonsense. You got that right. But the only thing is that they do the pageantry to make everybody feel super special for being there and part of a super special club. And like I said before, this is where they cut their deals so they can go vote, know what to vote for later on the floor. Maron. I'm so
Egypt,
irritated.
Babylon,
I know, we got
Greece,
2 more minutes, then you
Rome.
can complain again.
And I think you're going to see sort of the roots of the Bohemian Grove, but particularly in the Illuminati era, originating during the French Revolutionary days. You know, there we had the actual order of the Illuminati, with Adam Weishaupt and all of his evil philosophers, let's just call them, Voltaire and the others. And
Voltaire? You leave Voltaire out of this,
Groper, of course, was a Bohemian. I think it's more Babylon mystery religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl is a symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians and by the Babylonians. And it's interesting to me that many of the members of the Bohemian Grove have in their homes, as I understand it, small figurines of owls. And I believe they actually worship those owls as a symbol of the deity, the great goddess of Babylon. And of course, here again, we have the counterfeit of Christ's sacrifice on the cross. I think all of those things,
We're almost there.
There had to be, in my belief, an occultist, a deep occultist, who designed each of the elements of this ceremony. It wasn't just a bunch of guys sit together at a bar and said, hey, let's have a good time, the Cremation of Care, and why don't we do this or that. I believe it was purposely designed, each element in its turn, for what they did. No doubt about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Dark Secrets inside Bohemian Grove.
That's not
The
wine
facts
either.
we've
That's
shown in this
rum.
film are absolutely
I'm betting.
documented.
Maybe it's wine.
I would only hope that the people of the world realize the organized evil we're dealing with at almost every level. Republican, Democrat, you name it. They're all working on the same team.
Yeah, true.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's called world government, the New World Order, dehumanization.
Not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's not a joke.
Not on
It's
that one.
deadly serious. Unfortunately, they've been breeding societies to think everything's a joke. I'm here to tell you truth is stranger than fiction.
All right. That was, Jennifer, that was nothing like I thought. Well, no, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it was nothing like I thought it was going to be, but it was also everything.
That was everything I hoped for.
I really enjoyed that. I really did. It was all fantasy. It wasn't real. Like I said, we watched a 2-hour found footage movie tonight, and it was and it was so great. It's one of the best found footage movies I've seen in years.
Ooh, that shit. Oh no. Oh, I dropped my work, and I started to pull it up by the string, so it started unraveling.
You ruined everything.
I didn't ruin it. I know what the fuck I am. I'm good. I guess.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this illustrious movie? And listen, man, I'm not trying to shit on Alex Jones too much. I'm really not, but he was just so wrong.
He was so Alex Jones in this. It was like bacon with bacon bits on it. It was like Alex Jones with Alex Jones on it. It was so beautiful. I love me some Alex Jones. But I mean, if I disagree, I disagree. If I feel like he's doing bullshit, I'm going to say it. I feel like everybody should do that. You should always think for yourself. Always do your own research. Never find a messiah. That is bad. That is bad. Don't do that.
True. So, we're done. We finished it. We finished.
Oh my god.
So what's coming up for movie night this week, Jennifer? I hear there is a very special movie playing on Saturday that was picked.
Oh my god, there's this fucking bitch who won't leave me alone. She's all over me, I swear. Yes, okay, so I have to. Oh yeah, we're doing The Secretary, I believe.
We are watching The Secretary. I picked that movie out, The Secretary.
Oh, were you the bitch?
Yes. In this case, yes. We are watching The Secretary on Sunday because I picked it out because we are in April, and as you guys know, April is my month of narcissism. And guess what, Jennifer? My birthday is on a Saturday this year, so Socialism Saturday will be in honor of me and my birthday. And I want everyone to get their super chats ready. I'm going to be keeping a list of who celebrates my birthday and who doesn't.
Oh, the pressure is on.
Yep, it's going to be a fun-filled night. And I would really like to release the Communist Manifesto book on my birthday.
I was going to ask. You're probably going to want to release one. So that is our due date for the group is on the 6th. You are on the 13th.
Yeah.
No, the 12th.
And listen, I want to say, because I know some people who are reading the Communist Manifesto for Jennifer's editing project or watching, don't take offense that I don't want to have a group meeting about it. Okay, it's not about you. It's not personal. It's just it's not a good idea. I'm letting you guys give me feedback. I'm looking forward to the feedback. I'm going to read the feedback. I thank you guys for taking the time to edit the thing. Just like I don't want to have a meeting where I'm confronted by multiple people telling me edits because it will drive me crazy and we will not end as friends.
Well, yeah. So like what we do every time we get together is we go over everybody's work. And this is what we do all the time. Like we're used to it. We critique, we help each other, and we praise. There's always praise. It's never like, well, that sucks. What the hell were you doing for the last couple of weeks? Like we actually do a lot of very good constructive stuff.
I'm sure you do. And I'm sure it's an amazing, loving
not
experience.
Justifying, just saying we're used to it. You're not.
Everyone means well.
Yeah. Oh, and of course we do. We love you. And also know that when you get your critiques back, we love you. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask. And
my story is amazing. So
we are here to support you in any way possible. It is a good story. There are many parts in the story that are good. And so I just found The Secretary. Okay, hang on. Perfect Secretary. I'm looking through. Okay, Secretary 2002. Is that the one?
That's does it look like a dominatrix?
James Spader. Yep, James Spader.
Yes, the one with James Spader. Yes.
After checking out of a mental institution, a woman, Maggie Gyllenhaal, works for an attorney, James Spader, who shares her enthusiasm for sadomasochism.
Yes, we are watching the Gnostic sex cult movie on Sunday. This is not safe for work movie. If you are offended by sexual things, don't come to movie night on Sunday.
We are adults. We are allowed adult things.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
don't dismiss it just because it's based around sex either. It is actually a really good movie.
It is. I enjoyed it. because you suggested it to me a couple of years ago, for some of my research, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. I liked it, and of course, James Spader will forever have my heart, forever. Yeah, he's great. So, that and then hold on. I gotta pump the Mac. Hold on. I gotta open up another screeny poo.
Fuck you, Mizakan. Don't put that movie in my chat. We don't talk about that movie.
What
Salo.
I'm not familiar.
Don't Google that. Don't.
Okay,
Jennifer, this is one of those times where you need to trust me. Do not ever look into the movie Salo. And I know by me saying this in this tone of voice, you're gonna be like, but I want to Google it. And other people
now I really want to Google it.
But I'm telling you, it's a really bad idea. And I'm being serious, so that when you come back and you're upset that you Googled the movie that I told you not to Google, I just want to remind you that I literally told you, don't fucking Google this fucking movie.
Will it harm me in any way?
Yes, it will. It will irrevocably scar you for just reading a description of the. I have actually watched the movie. Okay, this again. You guys wonder how I can watch Hours of Socialism? I watched fucking Salo. I sat through the whole thing, and even reading a description of this movie will traumatize you for life.
IMDb.
Yeah, she's fucking looking it up. Okay, whatever. We're gonna see Jennifer's live reaction to Salo on the fucking channel.
Wait, or 120 Days of Sodom?
Yes.
Oh, was it butt sex? Oh, that's clowns. Nope.
No, it's way beyond butt sex. It's way beyond butt sex.
All I saw was like evil Santa clowns, and I'm like, nope.
Oh no, that's probably. I don't even. It is so. That movie is so fucking traumatizing.
Okay, that wasn't it. That must. You know what happened?
I don't even remember there were clowns in it.
IMDb puts advertisements. Oh, if you like blah blah blah. Okay, that wasn't for Salo. Okay, it's putting up an advertisement because IMDb is being a butt.
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea to read about the description of Salo on the stream.
Oh, Pier Paolo Pasolini. He's Italian. It can't be too bad. Sergio Citti, Pupi Aviti.
Why don't you do this, Jennifer? Why don't you go to Wikipedia and read the description of this movie?
Well, there's supposed
this will be a fun activity to do live on the channel. Why don't you go to Wikipedia and read the description of this movie?
In World War II,
I was gonna sit here and I would be like, I fucking told you not to do this. I warned you. I was very specific. I was like, don't look up this movie.
In World War II, Italy, 4 fascist libertines round up 9 adolescent boys and girls and subject them to 120 days of torture. Underaged?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know. We're done.
Well, it's even more than that. It gets worse than that. Yeah, it gets worse.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't need any more.
Yeah, see, yeah. It's a bad movie. It's a bad
movie. Person in the chat. Who said that? Shame.
Warned you. I told you not to look it up. Jennifer, this is like the old man in the rowboat, right? This is like this old guy is like he's in a storm and everyone's drowning and and a man in the rowboat rows by and he's like, old man, do you want to get in my rowboat? And the man's like, no, I don't need your rowboat. I don't need your rowboat. God's going to protect me. God's going to save me. So the man in the rowboat goes away. Joke. And then the guy in the helicopter comes. He's like, old man, get in the fucking helicopter. He's like, no, God loves me. God's going to save me. I'm not going to leave my home. Like, I'm not, and then do you know what happens, Jennifer? The guy dies.
Yeah.
And he
like,
goes,
where were you guys? He's like, well, I sent you
I sent you two fucking options to get to. I told you. You were given an ad from the universe to not read the description of this movie.
Can we, first of all, establish that I have not complained and that I looked it up and went, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I saw what I want. Now, I am curious. I have to know. And I know enough that I am done. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Someone else is going to be traumatized because of this experience, Jennifer. You understand this?
Some innocent
viewer is going to be traumatized because you couldn't listen.
Because I couldn't. Don't you blame someone else's bad decisions on me? I got enough of my own bad decisions. Thank you.
Fine.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so I have to move. I have this Tron double feature that is floating around, and I don't know where to put it.
We're going to put it in another month.
Yeah, this is what people go, Jennifer, how come you don't play all these movies? And I'm like, because shit happens. Sometimes I get sick. Sometimes Carlin takes shit over. Sometimes, all of a sudden there's a birthday. Things get interrupted. I do my best. Have a little love for the fact that I'm fucking doing this at all.
I appreciate you.
Okay, so the secretary got it. Gyllenhaal and Spader. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that again. Yep. Then we're going to do The Stand. Then There Will Be Blood. Then It, so I can stagger the double feature.
Blood. Oh, I picked There Will Be Blood. Oh, I forgot I picked that movie. That movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. So we're going to stagger the double features. And because I love and resent you completely right now for making me do 2 double features in 1 month, I will be picking the music that I like that has nothing to do with the movies at all, because I think it's great music, and I don't care if you like it or not. You may or may not like it.
That's fine.
And also, you may or may not have earned the 3rd Monty Python movie for December.
Oh, well, thank you, Jennifer. You know what's funny, Patrick? The other week, Jennifer was sick for movie night, and I took it over, and I was this close to making everyone watch Cannibal Holocaust. I was like, I'm never gonna get a Cannibal Holocaust opportunity again. Jennifer's never gonna let me do this again. I was this close, but then I'm
contractually obligated to show whatever the fuck you want in April, so
Yeah, well, I guess maybe we'll do Cannibal Holocaust next month, next year. Yeah, we watched Hell House though. Hell House is great. We watched Hell House 1 and 2.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
We were all engaged. The chat was lit. We had a blast. That was a good time.
It was fun. All right, and what is Mac B doing for movie night next Monday? You have the secret list.
I do. Well, I have the master list. All right. So heavy metal was last night. Waking Life is what he has listed for next Monday.
Waking Life. Okay, I have no idea about that movie.
I don't know either. But I'm looking forward to the one after that because it's going to be South Park, and then he has Yellow Submarine. So I'm stoked for the next two. I don't know what Waking Life is. He'll have to. And also, Mac, I'm talking to you, babe. I know I saw you in the chat. I don't know if you're still here or not, but you need to start pumping your shit in the movie night message board again.
Yeah, put it. Make sure people know about it. Like I
always go posting recently.
Yeah. So make sure you're posting about it so people can come and watch it. Because if we aren't posting the movies, people don't know what they're showing. And we can remind people, but
yeah, and you do usually. He's got a solid 4 or 5 people that show up. I come in when I am able, like, because life is a thing. Or if the movie is like, I'm gonna watch it with everybody, then I'll definitely be there.
He picks out some cool movies. MacB's got a whole like cult classic kind of movie night going, and it's good. I haven't been to many of them because I just have other stuff I need to do, but I pop in every now and again, and he does a great job.
Yep. No, he's a good kid. We love the Mac. Yeah. Mac's a sweetheart, and he's really fun during the evening. So, during Monday movie night. So anyway, that's what we got.
Cool. So make sure you guys join the supporter Discord. Head over to carlin.substack.com. It's in the digest email. You can join us every Sunday night for movie night at 8 p.m. and every Monday night for movie night at 9 p.m. And we do other stuff in the supporter Discord as well. And yeah, that's all we got. Jennifer, you got anything else for tonight?
Only good night, Fred, my comfort skull. And thank you for the love for my Roop. I love my Rupert. He my buddy. So I can't believe I thought of like pull him out tonight. My mom always watches our shows the next day, like in the morning with her coffee, and she's gonna fucking die when she sees him come out. It's gonna be perfect. Yay.
Cool.
Anyway, love you guys. Oceans of love.
All right, guys, we're headed out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.